Check, check, 1, 2. Jake, if you're listening, I'll text you, but we're going to go live at 6:28. I will give you a countdown. Because I'd like to go live when they're not showing stuff like this, you know. They put the K in Kubota. That is here. I don't know why I thought it might be Winnipeg for that.
That was today's Tools of the Game, presented by Acme Equipment and Kubota.
What a legend. All right, well, I guess I should give Jake the count. All right, Jake, let's do this thing. Let's light this candle. We are going to go live in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You are looking live at Newman Outdoor Field in Fargo, North Dakota, where, if the Fargo Moorhead RedHawks fans get their way, the trophy, the Miles Wolff Cup, will be presented tonight. Of course, there's a hungry and confident Milwaukee Milkmen team looking to force a winner-take-all Game 5 on this field tomorrow. It's Game 4 of the Miles Wolff Cup Finals here in the American Association. Carter Woodeel here with you alongside Michael Lang. And Michael, we were treated to a great game last night, a game where the fans were happy. Fargo Moorhead getting a 7-2 win in that pivotal Game 3, and they are now just one victory away from their first ever American Association championship.
Yeah, series clinching wins. Game 4 here for the fans and the RedHawks. You could feel the buzz in the air. You can almost like sense that they know that they're one game away, and it's so close. And to do it at home, to be here in front of the home crowd, I think they're going to be extra loud today. I think they're going to be bringing it, and there's going to be a lot of excitement at the ballpark today.
This is one of those, it's one of those situations where everybody knows what's on the line. The players sort of hesitant to talk about it, really. They know, obviously, that if they get this win, they will be able to move on. But, of course, every chance in the world of the Milkmen pulling off a victory tonight and extending this series into a Game 5. We'll get you the full lineups and the pitching matchups and all that in a second, but let's go into who we're going to see on the mound in this game. Anthony Barone, the manager of the Milwaukee Milkmen, the 2020 American Association champion, had a decision to make for this game. A.J. Schugel, who has been flat-out dominant in 3 postseason starts, could have gone on short rest and pitched tonight. Not the case. Christian Young is getting the ball instead. What do you think of that decision?
There's 2 ways to look at it. Obviously, Schugel's your guy. He got you the winning Game 1, and he is on short rest. The other thought on that is last night they did use a ton of their guys, and regardless, he would have to pitch whether it's tonight or tomorrow. So I guess their thought is, whoever's going to pitch tonight would pitch tomorrow. So this guy will come out there and hopefully get us a W, and then we'll go with our guy for Game 5. I know it might be a risky play, but again, you have a strong offense. You're going to trust your guys, and it shows that he has trust in his starting pitcher today to go out there and get a win for him.
And Christian Young, it should be said, last time Milwaukee had a elimination game, it was against Chicago in Chicago, and Christian Young got the ball and won that start. For the Milkmen, now it was a game that he combined with a lot of people. He didn't get the win. Went 3 2/3. Frankie Barcho and their great closer Rodrigo Benoit teamed up there as well. But as they say, there is no tomorrow for the Milwaukee Milkmen tonight. It will be all hands on deck to try and keep the Fargo-Moorhead RedHawks from celebrating a series victory. As the RedHawks take the field here at Newman Outdoor Field, this is a great crowd. It's a really engaged crowd. For these playoff games, you really get the fans that are really there for the baseball, and the players talking to them pregame. They were receptive to the atmosphere that we saw here last night. About 1,500 people, 1,501 to be exact, were in this building last night, and they were keeping track of everything. They had all the eyes on all the big plays. It's a great atmosphere here in Fargo. Getting a look at Peyton Wigginton, this is the biggest start of this young man's career. The true rookie out of Middle Tennessee State University, who has been a revelation for the Fargo-Moorhead RedHawks this season. You can see the numbers for the playoffs. He's been just as reliable in the regular year. A big reason why the RedHawks are here is because of how their rookie starters have stepped up. The pressure is on for Peyton Wigginton today, but this is a guy who has made plenty of high-pressure starts and gotten it done for Fargo-Moorhead this year.
And you know what? Last night we saw a great outing from another rookie as well. So
Tyler Grauer.
I feel like that gives him the ultimate confidence on the mound right now to do one. I think going out there watching him do what he did, it's just he's gonna be ready to rock.
And here is the lineup that he will be facing. You're looking at Brian Torres, the utility player of the year in the American Association, timing up those pitches. He's in center tonight. Logan Trowbridge bats second, plays third. Miguel Gomez, the second baseman, is in the 3 spot. Keon Barnum, the cleanup batter, he's the DH. Will Kenter, the first baseman, bats fifth. Hector Sanchez is the catcher. Carl Chester is out in right field. Aaron Hill is the left fielder tonight, and Jeremiah Burks is the Milkmen shortstop. This is how the defense will look behind Peyton Wigginton this evening for the RedHawks. Nick Novak out in left field, had a 2-run single last night. Evan Alexander has elite range in center field. Alec Oland is in right. Leobaldo Pena, the third baseman. Sam Dexter, tremendous defensive shortstop. Peter Maris at second base. Manuel Boscan at first. And Christian Correa doing the catching. This is a very fundamentally sound RedHawks defense.
Yeah, they're very fast outfield. They're going to track everything down. They play a good defense. Their infielders are outstanding. Obviously, they're going to make you earn your hits here.
So Brian Torres digging in against Peyton Wigginton on this pretty chilly night. The wind, as it was last night, is blowing fiercely left to right in a ballpark that is deep to left and shallow to right. That's good news for lefty hitters like potentially this guy, Brian Torres, as we will go lefty to lefty to start things off. So glad that you are with us wherever you are, whether it's baseballamerica.com, whether it's aabaseball.tv or Facebook or Twitter or anywhere else. First pitch is in there for a strike. 58 degrees, as you can see, and that wind gusting at potentially up to 20 miles per hour. Last night we were in the low 60s by the time the game ended. A few more hoodies and blankets in the stands tonight. You can see Wigginton's going with those long sleeves. Did you wear sleeves when you were playing, Michael? What was your philosophy there?
I did not ever wear sleeves. Only in spring training games.
Those spring training games
I'm
at the
telling
X's,
you, man.
they would get cold.
We would play. I wore a sweatshirt one time under my jersey. I would never do that in an actual game.
Well, don't tell that to Logan Trowbridge, who's on deck. He's got the hoodie under the jersey.
It's just too much. We would, even football, we'd play our state championship game in December. We gotta go short sleeves.
1-2. Torres stays alive. Wigginton, the true rookie out of MTSU. Jack Michaels likes to say he gets wiggy with it on the mound for the RedHawks. Going up against Christian Young for Milwaukee. RedHawks a win away from what would be their first title in this league. Torres lifts it to center field. Playable for Alexander. The sun is pretty nasty out there, but he makes the grab.
Right field and center at this time of the day with that sun is not easy, so.
One of the nice things about September is the sun gets out of your way more quickly than it would in August.
The nice part is, like I've mentioned, hitting-wise, you can tell, even though it is sunny and there is a shadow, earlier in the year, that shadow is halfway to the mound. So
right.
the pitcher is in the light when the batter's in the dark, and it is very difficult to see. Luckily, in September, it starts a little further back, so it's not as bad early on in the game.
Logan Trowbridge looks at A high offering from Wigginton, hitting .258 in the postseason. Trowbridge with a .743 OPS. Wigginton's 1-0. Little bit inside. Jeff Head is behind the plate tonight. First base umpire is J.J. January. Mayhew Edwards at second. And Clay Park, who was behind the dish last night, is now over at third.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch the starting pitching for the RedHawks so far is right out of the gate. They're not afraid to throw the off speed, and you know, a lot of times when you're going through the lineups, you command your fastball first time through the lineup, and you don't really show everything immediately. But you're in the championship. It's time to give everything you got here, and you just got to give it everything from pitch one.
And Peyton Wigginton says he's been learning how to throw a good changeup from, among other people, Tyler Grauer. He saw how effective Grauer's change was and is trying to learn from him, as well as Luke Lind, who's got a good changeup for the RedHawks. We saw him get the save in last night's victory for Fargo-Moorhead. Payoff pitch. Through the middle for a base hit, so Milwaukee, who didn't get their first base runner until the 6th inning last night, get a hard hit single from Logan Trowbridge to bring their first man aboard tonight. And that will bring up the dangerous Miguel Gomez. Pointed this out last night. I think it's worth talking about here too. These uniforms that the Milkmen are wearing, these are their championship edition uniforms. They introduced these after they won the title in that strange shortened 2020 season when it was basically all-star teams all throughout the American Association. And I don't know, maybe they just like the colors, but maybe a little statement here.
I like them.
Coming in and saying this is the series where we are going to try and take the championship back.
I will say it is shocking to know that Fargo has never won a championship, and I say that because
not in the AAPB.
Yes. I say that because I'd obviously been involved in the American Association since 2012, and every single year they always bring a great team to the table. They have great seasons. They almost are always in the playoffs, and it's almost like they just fall short. And they have championship caliber teams every single season. It's just not your year that year.
Made their first AAPB finals last year, lost to the Kansas City Monarchs in a sweep. Monarchs were undefeated in the postseason a year ago, and they do have 5 Northern League titles to their credit, the most recent in 2010. 3-0 delivery. A walk to Gomez. Little look to his dugout there, encouraging his team because they've got 2 on for Keon Barnum, one of the most feared sluggers in the American Association.
The one downside to the starting pitching from Fargo is when you do have lefties going, it's almost like you start to see tendencies, and even though they're different, they have similarities. So you start to see from the same arm slot or the same arm angle, and you know, even if they are a little different, they are obviously similar, and they started to pick up on that in the 6th, and that's when they started to like put together better at bats. And now it almost like is carrying it to today, and I wonder if they talked about that in the locker room today.
Well, Keon Barnum hit a long home run off of Luke Lind in the 9th inning last night, his 3rd homer of the playoffs, 2nd in as many games in this final series. As he always does, he's facing a shift. Jeff Head says he went around there. So it's a ball and a strike. Now it's different because it's a double play situation. You've got 1st and 2nd. Typically they have 2 players in short right field when Keon Barnum is at the dish. But here they're both on the infield third, although it's 3 on the right side. Trowbridge has great speed on 2nd. Led the league with 40 steals a year ago. This season, 33 steals in 38 attempts. Base hit would likely make it 1-0 Milwaukee. Wigginton looking for what would be a big strikeout here of Keon Barnum. The southpaw fires. Just missed that outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fans wanted it.
I always love the fans that are from the side over there.
Yeah, I can't see it at all.
You can't. It had the height for sure, but you can't tell if that's on the plate or not. It was
You know, Vince Scully
very
has
much off.
a great line about that, as that was a ball. Because the fans were making that call more with their heart than with their eyes. It's a great line. Here comes the 2-2. Called strike 3 at the knees, and Keon Barnum, he doesn't like that call, but he's down looking. Big strikeout for Wigginton for out number 2. And that'll bring up Will Kencher for Milwaukee. Kencher with a .554 OPS in these playoffs. It's the 9th postseason game for the Milkmen. Game 4 of the finals. The Wolff Cup finals for the championship of the American Association. Best of 5 series. RedHawks with a 2-1 lead on the precipice of a title. Wigginton trying to get settled in and finish up this first frame without any damage. That's outside to Kencher. Logan Trowbridge had a hard hit single with 1 away. Gomez drew a walk. Trowbridge at second and Gomez on first. Sam Dexter playing up the middle at shortstop for the RedHawks right now. You can see he's still just barely in the sun there. Hit in the air, left center field. On the run, Alexander on his horse, and he makes the sliding catch to save a run. An outstanding play. Look at the ground that Alexander had to cover in left center here. What a web gem to start off our nights. And we remain scoreless after 3 outs. Back in a moment. It's the Miles Wolff Cup Finals.
Oh, here he is, everybody. It's the bird you all know and love. The American Association of the Valley's favorite mascot. Say hello to Hawkeye, brought to you by Sanford Children. Make sure to download the Chick-fil-A app for your chance to win free food during the RedHawks season. If a RedHawks player steals a base during the game, open up your Chick-fil-A app to claim a free original chicken sandwich. Thanks to Chick-fil-A.
So here's our look at Christian Young on the mound for the Milwaukee Milkmen tonight, the right-hander out of Western New York, same home region as his skipper, Anthony Barone, making his second appearance in these playoffs. That first one to start in the victory over Chicago that helped send the Milkmen to these Miles Wolff Cup finals. He is on in a big spot. No tomorrow for Milwaukee. They put 2 on in the first inning. A great catch from Evan Alexander ended that frame. And here's what the RedHawks look like that will face it. You're looking at Drew Ward, who's in at second. He's the RedHawks DH. Peter Maris, the second baseman, leads things off. Leo Pena, the face of the franchise kind of guy, who's the longest tenured member of the team. He is in there at the 3 spot. Manuel Boscan, the first baseman, bats cleanup. Alec Olin will play right field batting 5th. Sam Dexter is the shortstop batting in the 6th spot. Evan Alexander, after making that great catch, he slots into the 7th spot. He's playing center. Nick Novak is in left field, and Christian Correa is behind the plate for the Fargo-Moorhead RedHawks tonight. This is a deep lineup, a balanced lineup. We were talking, Michael, last night about how just pesky this lineup is. They know how to extend at-bats. They hardly ever strike out, and they can be a handful for any pitcher. And Christian Young, obviously you want to make sure that you keep this lineup from putting runs on the board, but you're also mainly trying to see if you can go deep into the game. This is the defense that he'll have behind him with Hill, Torres, and Chester left to right in the outfield. Trowbridge, Burks, Gomez, and Kencher first to third in the infield. And Hector Sanchez as good as it gets behind the plate. The former World Series champ with the San Francisco Giants. So here comes Peter Maris. He had a 2-run home run last night in the RedHawks 7-2 Game 3 victory. Looks at strike one. Length is going to be key, you would think, for Young tonight.
I would say, and you know what, just pitching his game and not pitching to their lineup. You know what you're going to get with their lineup. They're pesky hitters. They're not going to strike out, but you just can't give in. You got to go and pitch your game. You can't give in and just, maybe if I throw this one, he might not foul this one off, and then that's when the homers happen. So you just got to stick with your approach, stick with your game, trust your catcher back there. Obviously, he's going to block everything for you, as we saw last night. So whatever finger he puts down, I'm throwing it.
Yeah, if it can be blocked, Hector Sanchez blocked it last night. I mean, he was outstanding, the former major leaguer, and that one popped out of the mitt there. He's looking it over right now. Don't know if that was an issue with his equipment or not.
I think it was a foul ball.
Oh, did he just get a tip? Nearly got it in his
mitt. Like, still 0-2 on the board.
Alrighty.
Might have been. Foul ball.
Just fouled it off. Nope, now they're going to give it 1 and 2, according to Jeff Head. So now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Curious play, but Young looking for the strikeout of Maris. Drew Ward dangerous on deck. This is a deep lineup for Fargo-Moorhead, but they've got as good of a first 4 as you're going to find in the association this season. 2-2 pitch. Right back toward us. That's one of the nice things about Newman Outdoor Field. They've really got lovely extended netting over here.
No, it didn't even used to go over the dugouts over there.
Yeah, it's all new. Not that new. It's been around for a while, but I know a lot of times when there's a ball that goes right into the netting in front of the seats, super fan will yell, "That just saved your life."
It's not wrong.
2-2. That one's going over the netting. That's a souvenir for the suite level, potentially. Up on the roof there instead. Another solid crowd for this game. There's Superfan showing off the dance moves. He had the crowd in the palm of his hand last night. The sunglasses, the headband, that's his outfit for every game.
I know I had to laugh. They handed out their team sets of baseball cards last night at the game, and my daughter was a huge fan of the Superfan card.
I love it. Another pop fly. Trowbridge will give this a look, but that will also go out of play. Bouncing into the second row. Nice little grab there. Got a Moorhead sweater. I wonder if he is in the Nick Novak party. Gives it to a kid, which we love to see. That's what you gotta do. Love it when they give it to a kid. He took his moment. He acknowledged the crowd. Yeah, I made the play. He gave the kid a ball. So still 2-2. This is what the RedHawks do. They extend ABs. Good take from Maris, and the count runs full. That one didn't miss by much. Good effort to frame that by Sanchez, too, as well. Payoff. Got him swinging. Ran it upstairs, and Maris just a touch late. One away. Here comes Drew Ward. with the 171 average in these playoffs does have a home run. Not really indicative of how great a player he is. Dangerous hitter for these RedHawks. Swing and a miss and another heater. It's 0-1. Bottom of the first inning of Game 4 of the Miles Wolff Cup Finals. The trophy is on site. It's ready to go. It was just washed today, actually. They had it out on the concourse last night so people could take pictures with it, and they actually made sure to clean it up just before the game.
Awesome.
Clean up the cup.
Until it gets messed with champagne afterwards.
The cup goes through it when the team wins the championship. I can confirm. And you can as well, Michael. It gets a lot of beverages doused on it.
As it should.
Yes.
Time to celebrate.
RedHawks are going to try and do that tonight, but nobody's really thinking about that in this clubhouse. They're trying to keep those thoughts to a minimum. You know, I talked to a handful of players today, and each one of them, to a man, really kind of said, yeah, we know that's the goal, but we have to treat this like it's any other game. You know, if we change our routine, then bad things happen. We're going to keep doing what got us to this point, what got us here. That's the mentality of a Chris Coast, Anthony Renz, and
It
the rest
is.
of the clubhouse was sending.
It's interesting the difference of feeling before and during a game in a clinching game like that, because you almost, I know you can say that.
Swing and a miss from Ward, back-to-back strikeouts to start things off for Young.
You can say that. You know. you know. And then as soon as the game starts, it then feels like another game where you're just trying to do your job.
Interesting. So you felt, I mean, 'cause
different.
you know what this feels like. You won a title in St. Paul in 2019.
Like
You had more nerves before the game than during, you're saying.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's nerves. You're just like super excited. It's just a different feel. You're enjoying yourself. You're having some fun. And then as soon as first pitch, it's like it felt like another game. You know, you can be in the outfield and think what's going on, but it feels like another game.
Well, it's like anything else, you know. This is something that all these guys have done this hundreds and hundreds of times in their lives, you know. Baseball players, creatures of habit. It's easy to get back into that once the game gets going. That one hit well off the bat of Leo Pena, but it's playable in left center. Aaron Hill and Brian Torres converge, and Torres makes the grab. And a 1-2-3 first inning, just what the doctor ordered for Christian Young. The RedHawks go down in order in inning number 1, and we are scoreless after 1 in game number 4 of the Miles Wolff Cup Finals.
How we doing, everybody?
Congratulations now there to Martin Sr. and Martin Jr. They are tonight's Budweiser Thursday winners. Certainly enjoyed that. And up to the team for the rest of the night at home plate. Thank you, Peter, Fernandez, and Budweiser. Enjoy the upgrade. Martin Jr. and Martin Sr. and drink responsibly. A big happy birthday tonight to Stan. Stan is down there. The Sandy Donuts Birthday Zone. For more information on the Sandy Donuts Birthday Package, or to book your birthday party for a game, stop at the box office or go online to fmredhawks.com. You can win $500 from the Van Dam Financial Group. If a RedHawks player hits the Van Dam Financial Group sign in right field, a lucky fan will be drawn to win $500 cash. All you have to do is register as the Van Dam Financial Group, get relations moved for your chance to win.
Peyton Wigginton back to the mound as the RedHawks and Milkmen head to the second. Milwaukee threatened in the first frame, got first and second with one out. But Wigginton struck out the dangerous Keon Barnum, and then Will Kencher hit a fly ball to left and was robbed of an extra base hit on a great sliding catch from Evan Alexander. And so we pick things up in the second. Hector Sanchez, Carl Chester, and Aaron Hill. The trio due up against Peyton Wigginton in this second frame. Sanchez has had an outstanding series and a great push to the end of the season with this Milwaukee Milkmen team. Was acquired from Kleber and for a player to be named later with a few weeks to go in the year, and all he did was hit .386 with an 1121 OPS in a Milkman uniform in the regular year. Ball and a strike on the Milkman backstop. We were so impressed with the defense that Sanchez put together behind the plate last night.
He did. He did such an outstanding job, and I hope that he had a nice ice bath after the game.
When I talked to him today, and he just kind of shrugged it off. He said, "Yeah, well, want to do whatever I can to help the team. It was a tough, tough night. You get beat up, but the way he put it is, hey, somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to do that dirty work." And
hey, he signed up for that position.
He
so.
sure did. And but yeah, he's sort of taking it in stride as he has throughout the season. Payoff pitch from Wigginton. Broken bat, left side. Sam Dexter lays out to make the stop. To his feet, throws to first in time. What a play from Sam Dexter. That is what he does. Weird hit, weird hop. Lays out, no problem. And beats Sanchez to first base. This guy is so fun to watch.
That's great. Great defensive play. Not an easy one, too, but he always tends to make it look a lot easier than it is.
Welcome to my house.
Talked to him today about his defense, too, and he said he didn't want to heap too much praise on himself for what he does, but obviously puts a lot of work into what he does at the shortstop position. A former Milkman who applied his trade with Milwaukee, and now with the RedHawks. And Chris Coase, I believe, has said that, when they were playing against Milwaukee, Sam Dexter really caught his eye from the visitors' dugout, and he's happy to have him on the team.
He was always a guy that I enjoyed playing against. I don't think I ever saw him without a smile on his face, just enjoying the game, having some fun, and obviously a great player as well. And it's fun to see guys succeed that are, good people as well.
2-1 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Carl Chester. Chester had a solid night at the plate last night. It was a difficult night for Milwaukee's batters against Tyler Grauer with how well he was pitching, but Chester broke up the perfect game with a single in the 6th. And later had an RBI single in the 8th to drive in one of the 2 Milkmen runs, the other being that 9th inning homer from Keon Barnum. Well, back-to-back outs with great defensive plays from Fargo Moorhead with that Evan Alexander catch and the Sam Dexter sliding stop. Those might have been the 2 best defensive plays of the finals on back-to-back outs. Payoff pitch. Just misses, and Chester works a walk. He's seeing the ball well this week.
All right, that's okay.
You can tell, again, Fargo Moorhead, the RedHawks pitchers are not giving in either. They're 3-2 off speed there. And you've seen 2-1 off speed, you've seen 2 off speed, 3-1 off speed. So again, in fastball counts, they're not giving in with those fastballs, and they're trying to keep them off balance.
So here's Aaron Hill for Milwaukee.
I know we could say it about the defense, but that first inning catch could be a game-saving catch already. And it appeared 2 runs potentially would have scored there, and to set the tone 2-0 in the top of the first. And in a game 4, that's a huge, huge out.
Jam shot to right field coming on. Oland, he makes the catch on the run. That was tricky. Had to go from shade to sun to shade while he was tracking that baseball. But Alec Oland makes the grab for the second out.
I didn't think that was going to stay up there. I thought that was down off the bat for sure. And
wind helped it, I think.
Good, he stayed on that. Sometimes guys pull up and just play that as a one-hop to you, but
yeah, it seemed he really was doing a good job of gauging that while he was hustling after it. That's not easy to do. Very quick reaction from Oland in right field. Jeremiah Birch takes strike 1. Wigginton, 19 strikes and 19 balls on the mound to start his game. Runner goes, grounded to the right side. That's fortunate for Milwaukee. And now Chester takes off for third, but throw from Olin, not in time. No, they got him. The tag gets down in time from Leo Pena, and the defense outstanding from Fargo-Moorhead to start off this game. Olin with the throw from right. Pena applies the tag. Chester hesitated a little bit when he was rounding second.
He slid into second.
He tried to get up and go. Then even after he got to his feet, he was unsure of exactly where the baseball was. And he is out at third. What a play. We've played an inning and a half, and we are scoreless in the finals. You don't want to miss any more of this.
You'll find the right style bike for any age group. Stop in and see for yourself. Paramount Sports, 2430 South University Drive, Fargo. All right, fans, please welcome one of the craziest, loudest, nuttiest, and he's all ours. It's our very own super fan. Proudly sponsored by Nine Point Insurance Services.
So we go to the bottom half of the second. Carter Woodhill alongside Michael Lang joining you from Newman Outdoor Field in Fargo for Game 4 of the American Association's Miles Wolff Cup Finals. 1-2-3 frame to start things off for Christian Young. You know, we talked about length being important for Young. As we get another look at this throw from Alec Oland here, let's take a look at this. Look at that arm strength to get Chester at third. And Leo Pena, love the emotion from that clubhouse leader for Fargo-Moorhead. What do you think of that play, Michael?
It's one of those plays where it almost seems like a makeup as a base runner. Once you slide into second and stand up and stop your momentum, you almost kind of have to shut it down. I want to say the third base coach was waving him, but I don't know if that was initially right away. But at that point, and it's so hard to say because since it was a bang-bang play, even with him stopping, he almost probably maybe did make the right decision, but unfortunately, the only throw that could beat him was a perfect one, and it was.
How great does that feel as an outfielder to gun a guy down like that?
I have always said that throwing a guy out is more satisfying than hitting a home run. And it doesn't come around as often.
Base hit for Boscan. The RedHawks get their first base runner of the night. Yeah, why else is it better? It's rarer.
It's not as. It doesn't happen as often.
Yeah.
And you just don't get as many opportunities because You probably get the opportunity maybe 10 times a year. And obviously you get over 400 at bats, so you get 400 chances at home run.
And you go, that one-on-one element, I think, helps too. You know, home run, you're taking a pitcher deep, but there, you know, there's just something to that. And you can see that fist pump from Leo Pena is so huge. He's a guy who has a lot of value on the field, but his biggest value with this team comes in the clubhouse, I think, because he is such a welcoming presence, really has sort of a captain-like feel with this team. And he was galvanizing his guys right in front of that home dugout on the third base side.
It's a momentum shifter again, for sure. And then leadoff guy, base hit. Who knows what happens here?
And makes it a big inning for Christian Young. I mean, every inning is a big inning in the Miles Wolff Cup Finals. But looking to end that momentum here. Base hit from Boscan, and now Oland himself, the man who made the play in right. At the dish for Fargo Moorhead. Might have missed the spot there, but in for a strike. 1-1 on Oland. Picked up from Gary South Shore in late July. Hit .304 with the RedHawks to finish the year. Had an RBI single in the 8th inning of last night's game. The Game 3 victory for the RedHawks that put them up 2-1 in this best-of-5 series. Time is called. A late time asked for there from Alec Oland. Very early, but Young has been more efficient than Wigginton so far. 39 pitches through 2 innings for Peyton Wigginton tonight. Young's pitch count at 20. But lots still to come. The right-hander's 1-1. Hit in the air to center. Torres headed out a couple of steps and then heads in to make the grab, judging that in that last little patch of sun. Second time he's made a play tonight. One gone. That'll bring up Sam Dexter for the RedHawks. Dexter has his own great defensive play tonight. Diving stop at shortstop for out number 1 of the second. 1 hit for each side. On the board anyway. Though the Milkmen have 2 hits. Scoreboard is off because Trowbridge had that single in the first and Burks had the single before Olin went threw out Chester at third. So 2 hits from Milwaukee and 1 for the RedHawks. Dexter, another fan favorite here in Fargo. Looking to keep the line moving in this second frame. Have one at 91 upstairs. I don't know if you saw, did you see this video, Michael, on the association's Twitter account? On Twitter at AA Baseball, they mic'd up a young fan in the crowd, and she was so adorable.
I did not see that.
She was pulling for the RedHawks on every pitch, and they got her during a Sam Dexter at bat. She was yelling, "Come on, Sammy!"
Huh, that's cute.
And they delivered the pitch. It was kind of funny. As there's a strike, it's 1-2. They delivered the pitch, and it was called. You could hear the umpire's strike call, and you could see her face go, "Ooh." She kind of cringed at the strike call. She thought it might have been a ball from her vantage point in the stands. Pulling for the RedHawks.
Start him, yo.
That's a great rap video. We're on Twitter at AA_baseball. You can watch this game on Twitter as well if you are. Welcome in. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball didn't bite as much as Young was looking for, so it's 2-2 on number 2 in inning number 2. RedHawks trying to make this the last game of the season. If there is a Game 5, it will be tomorrow night, same time, same place, 6:30 p.m. here at Newman Outdoor Field.
I'm sending him here.
Sending Boscan at first.
Especially with the way these guys handle the bat.
Yep.
You take your chances. If he puts one down the line, you're up 1-0.
I talked to Sam Dexter about that, about how many foul balls it seems like this team produces, and he said it's not something that at least he does consciously. He's not trying to extend at bats. He just says that's a matter of having good plate discipline and having good bat to ball skills and just doing the fundamentals. If you do it right, you wind up extending ABs in situations like this, especially against good pitching, where you got to spoil some tough pitches to get the one you want. 3-2, runner does go, and Dexter fouls it off. So there you go, Michael. We both look smart.
With a pitcher like this, I'd be curious to see when he actually does pick over to first. So as a base stealer myself, guys that like to hold for a longer time, like him, he tends to hold instead of maybe a 1 second and go. They won't pick over when they hold long. This is from what I've seen. Obviously, everybody's a little different, but guys that like to hold the ball don't come over. The only time they do pick off is a quick, right away. It's not like a hold now and then pick off. So he's probably just...
Runner goes again. Dexter swings through the heater of a throw to second. He is out. It's a strike him out, throw him out, double play to end the second. All smiles for the Milkmen as they jog off the field. A little bit of momentum toward the 2020 champions now. Gotta love a strike him out, throw him out to end the frame. A tight contest here, worthy of the stakes. Scoreless after 2 in the Wolff Cup finals.
Good evening, RedHawks fans. As you're going out for the game right now, we'll see temperatures around 50 degrees heading out, with today's mostly clear conditions persisting into our overnight hours. As we go to your KBR weather for 7-day forecast, we'll see Thursday 60 degrees, mostly sunny conditions for your first day of fall. That shot for showers will extend into our Friday, as well as 57 degrees and those breezy conditions as well. And then we'll warm up as we go into the weekend. Saturday, 68 degrees, those mostly cloudy conditions. And as we go into our Sunday, we'll see 66 degrees, those breezy skies, and lots of sunshine in stores. Thank you for your attention, and I hope you enjoy the game.
Hey fans, shiver yourself on over to the Captain Morgan Corner Bar. Get your refreshing mixed drink and, of course, your favorite Captain Morgan as well. It's down the third base concourse, matey. And if you miss it, you don't need one.
To the top of the third we go. Plenty of folks bundling up, liking that wild blanket. Interesting sort of combination on that young man to the left. He had a Marlins hat and a wild blanket. Two places where the weather, I would imagine, is very, very different right now.
Maybe he's trying to be like the Mr. Marlins guy.
Marlins man?
Gotta get behind home plate.
You know, we got to get Marlins man to the Miles Wolff Cup finals,
awesome.
man. Where's Marlins man in Fargo? What, he doesn't want to leave Florida and come all the way up here? Come on, bud. He goes everywhere, that guy. He's on the road. He works remotely. And he's on the road, I think, 300 days a year or something like that.
That's crazy.
Just going to sporting events.
Hey, if you love it, go for it.
I mean, it sounds pretty fun. Brian Torres slaps one to the first base side. Top of the order for Milwaukee in the third. That was the 40th pitch from Peyton Wigginton. Torres flied out to center field his first time up. Torres is a guy who his manager Anthony Barone describes as a throwback player. That's how he sort of sums up the game that Brian Torres brings. He sends that one over to the light tower on the third base side.
I would describe a throwback player as a guy that good contact hitter, plays defense well, runs everything out, steals some bases, not too flashy, and just plays the game hard.
That's what Brian Torres does, man.
So it's pretty accurate.
And his manager, who's a fierce advocate for his players, that's kind of what he said. You know, he highlighted that he can play multiple positions. Obviously, was named the utility player of the year. The association was on the postseason all-star team at that spot. Lifts this one in the air to left field toward the foul line, and it lands fair into the left field corner. Torres racing for second, but throw from Nick Novak. Well, he has trouble with it. Torres is trying for three. Relay throw. He's safe at the third base. Lost his helmet in a wild play there. Dexter helped shovel that one over. And hopefully Torres is all right. That's his manager, Anthony Barone, also coaching third. A frantic play over at third base. Landed just in fair territory. You can see it kick up the chalk, and then Novak just has trouble with it in left, allowing Torres to try for the extra base. Dexter trying to do a little flip play there.
Oh, his face got stuck on the ground when he slid.
And they are checking on Brian Torres here. Hopefully something that he can play through here. Yeah, just an awkward slide. Maybe got thrown for a loop a little bit. That was kind of a weird relay throw. Could take you out of your element a little bit.
It's one of those things where it's more of like a footing thing. When you lose your footing and you don't get your slide like the way you're normally used to, sliding head first, it's like one of those like scorpion type moments, but his feet didn't go over his head. It's just his face just got stuck into the ground and probably slid more with his face than his chest.
Torres in his first year with the Milkmen is sixth as a pro. He was in the Giants organization last season, has also played as a Brewers farmhand. A confident player who loves to push himself at the plate and in the field. You know he wants to stay in this game after this awkward slide. But they're going to make sure that he's all right and good to continue. Yeah, but it looks like he might just have scraped up his face. Peyton Wigginton is taking some warm-up pitches right now. And hopefully, I mean, we're not down there, but hopefully this is the kind of thing where once they can sort of get it under control, he'll be all right. But Anthony Barone,
Looks like they're pointing to his jaw, so at least like you can hopefully rule out a concussion type of thing.
right, that's exactly what I'm kind of getting at, is hopefully, you know, he's not necessarily concussed. It's more just he's got a cut that they need to deal with. He's such an important player for Milwaukee. Top of their lineup, center field.
If they were to lose a guy like that, that would be a really, really tough blow, considering who they've already lost.
Trainer's heading back to the dugout. Torres is staying at third. Still frustrated about how that play went. Talking to Leo Pena. It might just be that that hurts. He's still sort of stinging from it right now. Now Jeff Head, the home plate umpire, is talking to Torres. Now Barone is wondering what's going on here. Jeff Head behind the plate, one of the most experienced umpires in the American Association.
Third baseman number 7, Logan Colbert.
Having a word with Anthony Barone there. Not sure exactly what words were exchanged. But the good news for Milwaukee is Brian Torres will stay in the game at third base. And it's a big play. It's a leadoff triple. And Logan Trowbridge gives this one a high pop fly to right side of the infield. Foul ground, and Boscan puts it away. That's one gone. We'll take that as right from Superfan. That's just what Wigginton was looking for. It keeps Torres at third.
Exactly what he was looking for. I was just about to say this at bat is going to be right. Well, the next two at bats. So this, at least there's one out still. You almost have to, with the speed of him at third, you have to almost go on contact to get on the board first and take that chance, even if it's a hard ground ball to the corners here.
And the wild card is, how is he feeling right now at third base? You know, how much pain is he potentially experiencing after that awkward slide?
I would say that he's probably not going to be sliding head first again today.
Yeah, I would think that if he goes to home plate for a play, it would probably be a feet first slide. So here is Gomez, had that first inning walk that made it first and second with one out. Milkmen could not bring in the run. Wigginton got a strikeout of Barnum, and then Kenger flied out in an outstanding catch from Evan Alexander in left center field.
I wonder if when he slid in, it is a little colder. I wonder if the ground was very hard when he slid in, or if there was a little give and softness to that dirt.
This grounds crew does an exceptional job here at Fargo, considering the challenges. Hitting the air right side over the leaping Peter Maris. That's a base hit to right center field. Torres jogs home easily, and the Milkmen strike first in Game 4. It's 1-0 Milwaukee on a ribby single from Gomez. Nothing too fancy about it, but that is a big, big hit for Gomez and the Milkmen.
You could tell his approach right there. You could tell that he wasn't trying to do too much because, as you saw with that swing, it was an inside pitch that he was able to stay inside the ball and drive to right center for a base hit. So clearly he wasn't trying to do too much, trying to hit it over the wall. They were just trying to get him on the board first.
And now it's Keon Barnum's turn. 3 infielders on the right side, all on the infield dirt, with Pena, the third baseman, basically playing an up-the-middle shortstop right now. Barnum had that aforementioned strikeout looking in the first inning. Wigginton's pitch count, this will be his 50th pitch of the night. Barnum just missed that one. Had a look on his face like that might have been a hittable pitch for him.
Those are the ones you want back. It's like, you almost want to ask him, can you just please throw that one again? Give me another shot.
How would you respond to situations like that when you were at the dish?
You're frustrated in your mind because you know like that was the one, and you're probably not going to get it again.
Wigginton's 0-2. Hitting the air to left field. That will get down in front of Nick Novak for an opposite field single. So Barnum keeps the line moving. It's first and second with one away. Potential for a big inning here for Milwaukee in the third. We'll see what Will Kenger can do about it. Kenger was the one who was robbed of the hit by that great play from Alexander earlier in this game. Milkmen have definitely had more chances in addition to pushing across the game's only run. The true rookie Wigginton still finding his form here, you would think. Still looking to settle in. The man out of Middle Tennessee had a couple of college teammates of his. Played for the Lincoln Salt Dogs this year as well. 0-1. Salt Dogs lost in the first round of the Miles Wolff Cup playoffs against Kansas City, who Fargo Moorhead beat to get to this final series. Game number 4, RedHawks up 2-1 in the best of 5. One to Kenger. Called strike 2. Don't know if he's watching, but I want to say hi to Big G. That's Wigginton's dad.
Oh, there you go.
Who he said would.
Oh, I bet he is.
Who he said would always be with him when he was growing up, catching his pitches. That one gets past Correa, and the runners move up. So we'll see how it's scored, but it's second and third and one away. Yeah, Wigginton said that he would throw with his dad, and they'd go through sort of mock at-bats. His dad would call balls and strikes. And listening to Peyton tell it, his dad had a pretty tight zone.
Have to at a young age. That's what always like frustrates me even with the kids that I work with. I have a legit strike zone when I throw BP to them, and if it's slightly off, I tell them that it's a ball, and then
2-2, chopper foul.
unfortunately at a younger age the strike zone's quite wide.
Yep.
And it's almost like you're training them to have a really tight zone with their eyes. Then you have to adjust to the younger umpires.
So that was scored a passed ball. That allows Gomez to take third and Barnum to take second with one away. Wigginton looking for a strikeout right here. 2-2. Didn't bite on that breaking ball, so it's a full count. On deck, Hector Sanchez.
If you're in
Piña's-
Milwaukee, that's the guy you would want up right now.
Yes.
That's who I would want up.
Piña halfway at third, rest of the infield is back. Payoff pitch. Called strike three, got him. Big pitch for Peyton Wigginton, maybe his biggest of the night. Right there at the bottom of the zone, Kencher knew it. 2 gone. Second strikeout for Wigginton. Here comes Sanchez. Some Milkmen fans may be making some noise for Hector down there. There are some fans who travel. The Milkmen travel pretty well as a team. A lot of folks associated with host families in the team and the like that will make trips.
There's a decent crowd over there from Milwaukee.
They travel.
I know from experience in any team really, when you deal with the championship or even playoffs, if it's close enough, you tend to see quite a few people traveling to support the team.
There were plenty of Milkmen fans in Sioux Falls when they won the title in 2020, clinched that championship on the road, as they're hoping to this year as well. That was a best of 7 series, and they won it in 5. Wigginton's 1-1. 2 balls and a strike on Sanchez. Sanchez with an excellent pedigree, World Series ring with the Giants. Says he learned so much during his big league time from being teammates with Buster Posey, backing him up and learning from Bruce Bochy as well. And says that he's still working to get better, still trying to find different ways to help his team. And really carries himself that way as well. Not necessarily a guy to rest on his laurels, to say, hey, I was in the big leagues, I've got a ring. For all accounts, a great teammate.
I don't think I've ever encountered a former big league guy that's played in the American Association that's been that way.
Yeah.
Everybody is always willing to help.
Inside, and the count runs full. Carl Chester waiting on deck. He walked his first time. But it's so important in this league to be a good teammate. That's the case
It is.
up and down, no matter who you are. When you're banding together trying to get W's in a league where we play to win, that's all that matters.
You spend 100 games, you're on
Yes.
bus rides all night. If you don't like your guys, you're in trouble.
3-2. Sprays it foul. Boscan gives it a look, but that's headed over to the playground out there. Picnic tables. It was a big third inning for Fargo Moorhead last night that propelled them to victory. They scored 5 runs in just a marathon inning. It included a Maris homer, RBI single from Boscan, 2-run single from Novak, a pitching change. Sanchez behind the plate was injured temporarily, had to collect himself. 3-2. We'll do it again. Sanchez a little frustrated there, thought he got a pitch to hit. You can see that competitive fire. But that inning in last night's game really sort of set the tone and allowed the RedHawks to keep the Milkmen at arm's length. Milkmen are trying to do a similar thing here potentially in this third inning. Wigginton trying to change that. Hoping to make sure the RBI single from Gomez is the only damage to bring in a run in this frame. Big 3-2 pitch coming to Sanchez. Here it comes. In the air to right field. Oland to his left. On the run. Lays out and makes an incredible catch. Alec Oland saves 2 runs laying out in right field. The RedHawks are putting on a clinic defensively tonight.
Wow. What a catch. Another giant play. This game could be 5-0 already.
He threw out a man at third in the second, and in the third he lays out to make the grab. What a pickup this man has been for the RedHawks. And Fargo-Moorhead down just 1. 1-0 Milkmen at the end of 2.5. Don't go anywhere. It's the Miles Wolff Cup Finals on AABaseball.tv.
All right, let's head down to the field with Superfan, the Herbert and Gerbert's musical chairs.
Hey, thanks, Bob. All right, RedHawks fans. How about that catch? Come on! All right, down here we got Connor, we got Caden, we got Prince, we got Greta. They're going to do a little musical chairs for your entertainment, ladies and gentlemen. Give us some music. No, counterclockwise, guys. Other way. Oh, that's fine. Let's go clockwise. Let's do it. Oh, sorry, Caden. Sucks for you, buddy. Over here. It's okay. Hey, it's game 4. You're gonna get a prize anyway. All right, here we go. Go, give music. You're playing for some herbs and gerbs. Oh, Connor, you're out, buddy. He was there. Sorry, buddy. Hey, secret. You get a prize too. All right, here we go. All right, Greta, you got it? Is it going to be Greta or Prince? Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, the superfan of superfans, Greta! All right, hey, you 3 race to the door. Who's going to do it? Back to you, Bob.
Nice job down there. Thanks a lot to Herbert and Gerber. Check them out at any of their 4 Fargo-Moorhead locations.
What a game we have here in Christian Young, who has faced the minimum through 3. What have you liked about what you've seen from Young so far tonight, Michael?
His command of the zone, and he is just keeping them off balance. And honestly, it looks like the RedHawks hitter are late on his fastball, and it's partly because he's living at the top of the zone with his fastball, and it's almost like they can't catch up to it, so it's a little bit late. We'll see how that progresses as the game goes on. But right now, he's thrown an outstanding game, and you just got to keep with that flow and that rhythm and trusting his catcher's pitches.
Well, Riley will announce Peter Maris coming up to the plate here for Fargo Moorhead. I love how the crowd always gives him a big hand when the junior PA announcers show their stuff.
He's back.
Oh, Hawkeye's back in the booth.
Where's Jack? Get your net out.
So a ball and a strike here on Peter Maris. One and two, and getting those swings and misses tonight. So crucial for Young. This has been really impressive. The second-year Milkman, former Jamestown Jammer in his collegiate days, played under Anthony Barone in that summer collegiate woodbat team. And has experience pitching in big games, not just the one in Chicago that we mentioned earlier, in the championship series of the Perfect Game Collegiate League with Jamestown. He got the ball in a winner-take-all Game 3. And his team wound up winning it. Now, it wasn't a perfect start for him. He gave up 6 runs and 5 in the third. But the Jammers scored 4 runs in the last couple of innings to win the ball game. Maris holds up and the count is full.
That's close.
Just missed.
Just missed it. I think the check swing almost helped him.
There's an odd swing. Jeremiah Burks charges. A wild throw, and it pulls Kencher off the bag. Not exactly a work of art for Maris, but he will take it. Burks might have rushed that throw just a little bit.
I think he beats that out even if he's on the base there.
So an infield hit, you would think. That is how it's scored. Maris is aboard with nobody out. And we hear the circle of life, so it's Drew Ward's turn. Just 45 pitches, now 46 from Young. Did not get a piece of Ward's jersey. Came close, but looks like he'll be staying where he is. See how he gets out of the way here. Whew. Just avoids it. He'll try to do some damage with the lumber here. Struck out his first time, one of 5 strikeout victims. Against Christian Young this evening.
I was always a fan, especially with no outs. I was a fan of giving the batter a strike if it was a left-handed hitter and I'm on first before I tried to steal there. Just because the first baseman's holding you on, you're leaving that hole open for him. And then based on the situation, kind of evaluate from there, but that's what I personally like to do, especially here now 2-0. He's probably going to throw you a fastball. You're hoping that he's out in front on it. He can smash that 4-hole, and then you can get to third.
Pretty aggressive lead for Maris right now. There's one example. We were talking about it earlier about how Young is a guy who likes to hold the set and take his time on the mound. Waited a bit before checking first there. Chopper. Burks. Just the one play at first. Burks deciding that they have the one out to get over at first base. Maris moves up 90 feet. And it brings up Leo Pena for Fargo-Moorhead. Pena flied out to center his first time up. Man in scoring position for the first time tonight for the RedHawks. Milkmen have knocked at the door the first 3 innings where they grabbed a bat. They've brought a man to scoring position in all 3 of those frames. At least briefly in the second inning. Chester was thrown out at third just after he rounded second. That great play from Alec Oland. Ward dancing over at second. That is something that Ward has in his arsenal. He's not a speedster, but he can really move around at second base. Or Maris is, oh, I'm sorry. That's right, Ward with the ground out. Young's 1-0. Pena lines one right to Will Kenger. Maris does a good job to get back to second. That's unlucky for Fargo-Moorhead. Pena struck that one well right at the Milwaukee first baseman.
You know, it's interesting. I always wondered as a hitter, I absolutely hated when they did it, but it almost makes too much sense to have the first baseman shifting over in that 4-hole because it doesn't happen very often where a right-handed batter hits a ground ball or a line drive down the right field line that's on the infield dirt before it's to the outfield. So I don't understand why they don't do that more often.
Well, that's what's so important to think about it, because sometimes people will see that and they'll say, what if they hit it the opposite way? Well, if they hit it the opposite way over the infielders' heads, it doesn't matter where they're standing.
Yeah.
So it's only about it, like you said, a ball that's going to touch the dirt on its way out.
And honestly, that's a great read from Maris. And if a younger person's watching this game that plays baseball, this is why you see base runners look and evaluate where the infield and the outfield is playing pre-pitch for that exact moment right there. Because if the first baseman was playing in the normal position that he was supposed to be playing, you're taking off and scoring on that 100% of the time. But knowing that the first baseman was playing so far off the base, off the bat, you can tell, and you could see he went right back immediately. And instead of getting doubled off, you still have a runner on second in scoring position with 2 outs.
Important spot for Bo Scon. Unclear exactly how many chances they'll get against Young today. He's looking really solid. 1-0. Good breaking ball. Can't get the call. 2 balls, no strikes. Not a bad pitch, whether that was a strike or not.
Sometimes when you bring it in too much, even if it's like borderline, if he stuck that, I feel like he might have gotten that.
Talking about the framing?
The frame job there. He kind of like, it looked like he brought it in a little too much.
Jeff Head has seen it all behind home plate. Very experienced crew in the American Association, including Mayhew Edwards over at second base, the reigning umpire of the year in the association, Which is cool that we've got that award recognizing an umpire. This year's will be announced after this series is finished. I guess because they don't want it to go to their heads during the finals. I guess.
Hey, you gotta make sure they don't mess up anything big in the postseason.
No, but it's an important award, and these umpires, they work so hard. They don't have any home games. They don't get to win. But they work as hard as anybody to make these games happen.
Part of me wonders if that was a intentional walk. I know you're not trying to put the go-ahead run on base, but a lefty up who is a former batting champ with a guy in scoring position, or a righty up next, I might go with the righty and take my chances and see what happens.
Well, that's, whether intentional or not, that's where the Milkmen are at. Alec Olin has had a great day in the field tonight with an outfield assist and a stupendous diving catch in the third inning to save a couple of runs. At the plate, he's 0 for 1 with a fly out to center. The former Gary South Shore Railcat trying to make another impact, trying to get his second RBI single in as many nights potentially here. Had one last night, late in the game. Maris on second, Boscan aboard first.
5 in a row, green light or no?
I would leave it up to him. He's a smart hitter.
I'm giving him green here.
Super fan phrasing things differently. The 1-0 offering. 31 strikes, 25 balls for Young. And the bullpen has been activated for Milwaukee. That tells you kind of how short a leash you have in a game where your season could end if you lose. Best of 5 series, Fargo-Moorhead leading 2-1. Frankie Bartow, he was the guy who they called upon in that game against Chicago after Young was finished. He is warming up for the Milkmen right now. You think that potentially Anthony Barone's just going to try and replicate that formula.
He did go 3 2/3.
Yeah, won him that series, yep. Bartow was the winning pitcher in that game. And then Rodrigo Benoit, their closer, got the last 7 outs.
I always wanted the inside move eliminated as a base dealer at second. I hated it.
No bias there, none.
Because I don't know. It's almost like a guessing game at that point, because it's hard to really read that right off the bat. If a guy's crashing to second base, you're probably going to be out if you're looking to steal.
One pitch.
Good swing there.
That is a big cut. Maris is doing everything he can to try and make sure that Young does not forget about him over at second base. Big pitch here. If you're Anthony Barone, you probably would have taken 4 shutout innings from Young tonight. In a game like this, where there's no tomorrow. Trying to finish it off right here. Pitch to Oland. Got him on the high heater once again. What a performance from Christian Young. Through 4 innings tonight. That's his 6th strikeout. Gives up just 2 hits. And the only time the RedHawks got a man to scoring position, he's stranded here in the 4th. 1-0 Milkmen as we go to the 5th in the Wolff Cup Finals on AABaseball.tv.
Moorhead fans, while you're busy packing the seats to see the future of baseball, Amazon is packing your deliveries. With hourly warehouse jobs, you can get competitive pay and great benefits while working with other team players. To learn more about jobs near you, visit Amazon.com/home-team. Go RedHawks!
Milkmen Outdoor Field in Fargo, North Dakota. And what is looking, at least right now, like the tightest game that we have seen in the Miles Wolff Cup finals so far. 7's been the lucky number for these teams. The winning team has had 7 runs in all of our games, as pointed out by Kevin Lukow, who's here from This Week in the Association. The team that scored first has won all those games. Milwaukee won 7-1 in game 1. It was really all Milkmen. They took a 7-zip lead. That was in Milwaukee. In game 2, the RedHawks flipped the script. They won 7-3. Milkmen were down 3-2. That was kind of their closest point in the game after Fargo jumped out to their early edge. And then last night, RedHawks won it 7-2, a big 5-run third inning, and a gem from Tyler Grauer where he took a perfect game into the 6th. Added up to a pretty straightforward RedHawks win to get them a 2-1 lead in this best-of-5 series. So here's Brian Torres, and he bunts it, a drag bunt, first base side. Maris charges and can't do anything about it. How about that from Brian Torres? Clearly that little injury he was dealing with is not affecting his speed. Caught the defense napping a little bit. This is what he does. You call him a throwback player, this is why.
I've been waiting for somebody to do that for 2 nights now. Do it. You should do it again here. Push it to first. That was kind of notorious for that. Everybody knew I was going to do it. I love it, though. It's almost like something you don't practice the older you get. So if you can get it into that no man's land, everybody goes for it. Nobody covers.
There's another bunt. Right back to Wigginton this time. He'll have to go to first, and a good throw gets Trowbridge, who's got plenty of speed himself.
Got to make him make plays.
But it moves Brian Torres up to second. That was not a gimme. That was a pretty darn good bunt.
Oh, that was a great bunt.
So Trowbridge retired, and it brings up Gomez. Kind of old-fashioned baseball. Little ABC. Torres is on him, a drag bunt. Trowbridge moves him into scoring position. Now you got your 3 and 4 hitters. Trying to bring across a run that could double the Milkmen lead. Milwaukee's bullpen, by the way, is quiet, so we will likely see more Young in the 5th. Did, for a moment, see Frankie Bartow warm up over there. So here is Gomez. Wigginton keeping an eye on Torres at second. An RBI single from Gomez, the only ribby of this game. That came in the 3rd after Torres had his leadoff triple, was a little shaken up after an awkward slide, but stayed in the ball game. Breaking ball fouled away. Next pitch for Wigginton will be his 80th. And there is something going on in the RedHawks pen. There's a baseball being tossed. We can only see the middle part where the ball goes. So I don't know if that's a pitcher throwing it or if it's just somebody staying loose. But I think there is action in the RedHawks bullpen right now.
I'd say based on how many innings you got last night.
Runner going for 3rd. Pitch is high. Throw down to 3rd. Not in time, and it gets away. And Torres can walk home. The throw from Christian Correa gets by Pena at 3rd. A stolen base from Torres, and he comes in to score. And the small ball pays off for Anthony Barone's team. It's 2-zip. That will be a stolen base and an E2 to double the Milkmen lead. That is, I'm not necessarily one to over-romanticize, the back in my day kind of thing, but that was just an old-fashioned way to score a run. Drag bunt, sack bunt, stolen base, and you get a little bit of luck to bring in the run.
Prior to, obviously, the overthrow, the ball never left the infield, and they get a run out of it.
Yep. So some pressure taken off of Gomez in this at-bat. And he hits one to Pena on the one hop. Nicely fielded from Leo. 2 gone. Now it's Keon Barnum's turn. This game has a different feel to last night.
It really does. It's it's almost like you can feel more pressure from both sides, and it's like I don't know why you wouldn't do the small ball in game 3. Try and take that game. It's like something that's underrated, undervalued. I'm a huge fan of it. I think it needs to happen more often. Maybe not in the middle of the season. You let your guys swing the bat here and there, but why not do it in the middle of the season when you're obviously coming down to one game and deciding the last game of the season just to make the playoffs?
Well, you were part of some Sioux City teams that valued small ball, I think maybe more than their counterparts in the league. And it varied the personnel, but I know, especially sort of toward the end of your career, Steve Montgomery's teams were known for their good base running and their good defense.
He always just let us play our game. It was very rare that he would put those bunts on. It was very rare that he put those steals on. He kind of just gave us free reign, and then
Barnum waves at strike 3. So Wigginton strikes out the slugger Keon Barnum to end the top of the 5th. But the small ball give the Milkmen another run. Torres comes around to score on the stolen base and the throwing error. It's 2-0 Milkmen halfway through. It's the Miles Wolff Cup Finals on AABaseball.tv.
Win is a win for you, thanks to Spicy Pie Pizza. The day after a RedHawks win, home or away, stop into your local Spicy Pie and receive 50% off any 18-inch pie. Just mention RedHawks win at Spicy Pie. All right, time to head down to the field with Superfan. A little Sweet Shots chip it to win it. Let's do it.
All right, RedHawks fans down here on the field, we got Brian Zubron. Came all the way from Fargo, North Dakota. Here's what's going to happen. He's going to chip these balls into that bucket. For every ball he makes, he gets a free hour at Sweet Shots. No one's watching, Brian. Cheer him on. Here we go, Brian. Nice and easy. And just outside, here we go, coming in for number 2. He's pretty confident he'd get, that was good form, just off to the side. Here we go. And, that's one! That is one. That is one. And that is not a 2. That is still just one, Brian. Here we go, Brian. It's not hockey. It's golf. Let's go. Oh, just a little to the side. All right, cheer him on, ladies and gentlemen. He's going for 2. He's going for 2. With the assist from Nick, that is 2 free hours at Sweet Shots. Let's give it up for Brian. Let's go for back to Bob.
Nice job down there, Brian, and thanks a lot to Sweet Shots. Check it out, your entertainment destination for any occasion. Leading on, bottom of the 5th inning for the RedHawks. Shortstop, number 2, Sam Dexter.
Back in Fargo, that chipping the baseball into the bucket game is really a lot harder than it looks. Let me tell you, that's the first time I've seen anybody get it. That guy had the best form of anybody I've seen play that game.
he looked like he'd played a round or 2.
Yeah.
My short chips are not the greatest.
Well, I'm sure it's better than mine. I haven't golfed in a long time. Swing and a miss from Sam Dexter. More from Young for Milwaukee. And as I say that, it looks like Bartow is back up in the pen, so we'll see exactly how many more hitters Young may face. Frankie Bartow was warming last inning.
It's one of those situations where they call down to the bullpen, and it's almost like a hitter-by-hitter type of basis, or a, hey, if such and such gets on, or if this happens and this guy's about to hit, you're going to be in there.
Couple of lefties after this, and Alexander and Novak. Dexter, a chopper to third. Logan Trowbridge, backhands. Good job to make that transfer lightning quick and get the speedy Dexter for the first out of the 5th.
Center fielder, number 11, Evan Alexander.
And here comes Alexander. Mentioned how Anthony Barone might just be trying to play this the same way as that Game 3 on the 10th of September against Chicago, where it was Young, Bartow, and their excellent closer, Rodrigo Benoit, all pitching in to guide them to a win. Swing and a miss from Alexander, that one at 90. And I think Young, it's not necessarily that his fastball is just blowing guys away, although it's been good. He's done a good job of setting it up and using it in the proper spots tonight.
I'm telling you that he's really commanding the fastball and getting a lot of swings on it. Right there, like it's a good location. A lot of guys have been swinging at it. He did take, it was a good take there, but that pitch exactly there, he's been getting a lot of swing and misses on.
When you saw the body language from Sanchez, right after that pitch too, kind of gave him a look like, yep, that's what we were looking for, bud. And we were talking about that last night, the body language for Sanchez behind home plate.
He's always giving like cues too. You could see like if a guy misses in, he's telling work this way towards me. He's always correcting or helping some sort of mechanics too.
And he told me before the game today, he said, it was kind of funny, I mentioned that we were talking about that, and he said something very, very similar to what you said up in the booth, which is just, I am giving the pitcher his confidence. The body language that I portray, the pitcher's going to take it. If I look nervous, they're going to be nervous. If 100%. I look confident, he's going to be confident.
I agree 1,000,000%.
Another swing and a miss on the Heat. 7th strikeout for Young. Alexander down, swinging. Second time he struck out this evening.
Fielder, number 3, and Novak.
Here comes Novak. 2-0 ball game. Milkmen got a run on a Miguel Gomez RBI single in the 3rd. Torres set the table with a leadoff triple in that inning. And then in the 5th, Torres had a bunt single, sacrificed into 2nd, stole 3rd, and a throwing error on the steal allowed him to score. It's a game that it feels like Milwaukee is in total control, but it's still just 2-0.
It really does.
The RedHawks have made some great plays in the field tonight to help prevent Milwaukee from really getting that big inning.
It's probably the best thing, the best case scenario for the RedHawks, because this game potentially could be out of hand, and with how Young's pitching right now, it's just it almost feels like it's 10-0, but they're still very much in this game. They're 2 swings away from being in this game.
The old bloop and a blast. 2-1. Novak with some connections to this area. He's got an aunt and uncle that live in Moorhead. His uncle's a basketball coach at the collegiate level, and he's got a couple of cousins that play college football. They are here tonight, the aunt and uncle. I believe his parents are here as well. A lot of family members in the crowd for these big playoff games. Novak looking to extend this inning. Young's pitch count very manageable at 71 right now. Three and 2. Thought he might have had ball 4. Close. Right back towards us. Bartow still waiting in the bullpen for Milwaukee, looks like. But with Young pitching like this, no reason for Anthony Barone to make any kind of change.
All right, here we go, Novi, here we go, buddy.
Barone managed the 2020 champion Milwaukee Milkmen in the association 2 years ago. That was just the 2nd year that the Milkmen existed. Payoff pitch. High pop fly. Logan Trowbridge. And Fargo Moorhead goes down in order in the 5th. Just 2 hits and 1 walk against Christian Young. Those are the 3 Fargo Moorhead base runners tonight. Kind of a flipping of the script compared to last night's game. It's 2-0 Milkmen after 5 in the American Association Finals on AA Baseball.TV.
Get loud, everybody, if you want a shirt your direction. Those t-shirts provided by CI Sport. Let's hear ya.
Oh my goodness. Jack Michaels just made a catch of a t-shirt up here in the press box, and he just threw it right back out to the fans. Carter Woodeel, Michael Lang here with you. Balanced effort for Milwaukee this evening. What a game for Brian Torres. Had that triple. He scored both Milwaukee runs, one of which was in the aftermath of that steal. Burks with the base knock in the second inning as well. Milwaukee has had plenty of chances. In the first inning, it was first and second, one out. Evan Alexander made a great catch. They didn't score. In the second inning, they had a man on first base, on a single rather, from the walk from Chester. Then Burks hit a single to right field. Was potentially a first and third scenario, but Alec Olin threw Chester out at third base. Even in the third, when they got that single from Miguel Gomez to score their first run, they threatened for more. A single from Keon Barnum made it first and second, and a passed ball allowed the runners to move up into scoring position, but an incredible highlight reel catch from Olin in right field ended that threat. So this is a game, it's 2-0 on the scoreboard, but if it weren't for some great defensive plays from Fargo Moorhead, this could be a really different looking game. Hit in the air the opposite way, and Will Kenger has himself a base hit to lead off the sixth. Aside from that fourth inning, which was 1-2-3 for Wigginton, it's been a grind for him tonight. His pitch count is up to 88 after that delivery. And that was kind of tough because it was that opposite field hit. Wasn't necessarily terribly hard hit, but good back to ball skills from Kenger to make that happen. Correa having a word with Wigginton here. We'll see if we see something from Kevin McGovern, the pitching coach and starting pitcher for Fargo Moorhead. I always wonder, like, does Kevin McGovern just ask himself for advice when he needs a mound visit?
I was wondering the same.
I guess he's seen it all. He's been in this league for a decade, you know.
Or one of those, like, Renz or Coast will come out and just give him a, hey, you know what you'd say to yourself, we'll just come out here and give you a little breather real quick.
Potentially some more small ball.
Although Coast, you know, a lot of catchers, former catchers, are really good with pitching. So I'm sure he'd be a pretty solid guy to talk to about that.
Chris Coast is a lot of baseball knowledge all over the place.
Tons.
1-0. Swinging away there, gets a piece. RedHawks on that initial bunt look from Sanchez, they were ready to run the wheel play with Boscan charging in from first, and Maris covering. it's just had a really different feel. This has been, last night we had Grauer pitching so well. The big inning from Fargo. And Sanchez lifts his one into left field. That will land fair into the left field corner and bounce over the wall for an automatic double, which is a tough break for the Milkmen.
Tough break for them.
Because Kenger could have potentially scored there. But instead, it'll be second and third and nobody out.
I think this might potentially be it for him.
And they are going to make a change. That one, if that is maybe a foot to the right, it hits the grass, maybe stays in play, Milwaukee has a run. But instead, it's an automatic double, and Peyton Wigginton exits for Fargo Moorhead. The RedHawks will turn things over to their bullpen. Listen to the ovation for Wiggy. 2-0 here in the fifth in the Miles Wolff Cup Finals in the top of the sixth. So Fargo Moorhead will call upon Reed Berlingmare to come on and relieve Wigginton. Wigginton exits after throwing 91 pitches. 5+ innings, gives up 2 runs, one of which was earned. There was that throwing error by Correa that allowed Torres to score the second run in the fifth. Responsible for Kenger, who's on first base. Gave up 8 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. This is Berlingmare's team-high 7th appearance of the playoffs. Has given up 4 runs in 5 innings of work over that time. And he's in a big spot. This is with 2 runners on, but he's responsible for here as that belonged to Wigginton. After the automatic double by Sanchez, put them in this spot.
I think we're going to need a Luke Lind coming out of the bullpen type performance right here.
Luke Lind was clutch last night. Got the save in that game, which I neglected to mention on the air. It was a save situation because he came in with the bases loaded. Tying run was on deck.
Yeah?
Which I didn't realize at the time. They caught it here in Fargo.
And they ended up, even though they did win by 5, but they still,
The playoff numbers for Reed. You don't see that too often. In a 5-run game, somebody gets a save. But it was a big spot. Bases were
huge
loaded.
Spot.
And he came in and he took him 3 pitches to retire the top 2 hitters in the Milwaukee lineup, Torres and Trowbridge. Gave up the home run to Barnum in the 9th. Long homer, but it was only a solo shot.
Now you're able to go right at him in those situations, and you know what? He unfortunately caught that one really well, but
Superfan is going right at it. Maybe it's just me. I know Superfan always brings the energy, but I think he's had a little bit extra in this series. He's trying to leave it all out on the field. He knows this could be his last game of the year. The RedHawks can come back.
Do you think he's like that at home too?
What, just in his regular life?
Just
I don't know. I don't know him. I'm sure he's a great guy. So here's Carl Chester. Second and third, nobody out. Kenger singled to start off this inning, and then Sanchez hit the automatic double out to left. Chester walked his first time up, then he was out at third after the great throw from Oland. Infield is in. Not as in as they could be. 2 steps or so in front of the infield grass. Swing and a miss, and it's 1-1. But Berlingmare's looking for a strikeout here. Pretty good block from Christian Correa. High pressure, high tension moment here in the Miles Wolff Cup Finals. Milkmen have left 5 runners on base up to this point. Trying to avoid adding too much to that total here in this inning. Just nobody out. Did he go? Yes, says J.J. January over at first base. Aaron Hill is on deck for Milwaukee. A guy with good plate discipline, not the sort of guy that you want to face with the bases loaded, potentially, if Chester were to reach via the walk. 2-2 pitch. Right side, diving play off the glove of Maris. He barehands it, but everybody's safe. A run comes in to score. It's an infield hit and an RBI for Chester, who's having a great series. And the Milkmen lead extends to 3-0. Doesn't matter how pretty it is, Chester's job to drive in that run, and he gets it done.
The unfortunate thing is that he was unable to get the third there, and
yes,
he did freeze. He froze at third on that, as he should. It was hit a little bit to the right of Maris, but he waited for that to be down first, and then he took off, which kept him at second base there.
RedHawks infield guarding the bunt. Hill showing the bunts, and bunts it foul. This has been a real throwback kind of game. Small ball stuff.
That's the thing. It's like people say that you got to pull out all the stops in a elimination game. I don't know why. Your goal is to score runs. This is how you score runs right here. Get guys on base, you move them over, you hit them in. I don't understand why that doesn't happen more often, and why it's almost like when you're in a panic situation where you need these runs.
Early Mares 0-1. 0-2. And now you'd think he'd be swinging away.
Yeah, he might put it on one more time.
You think so? Trust Aaron Hill to lay the bunt down with 2 strikes?
Let's see. Doesn't look like he put any sign on, so if he does, it's on him.
Corner infielders are moving a bit farther back. Pena's halfway at third. The 0-2 pitch. Correa blocks it well. No sign of a bunt there. I always think of Winnipeg when I hear that song.
Do they play that a lot there?
They play that. They have a promotion early in the game where they do that. 1-2. They're sponsored by a car wash, and they'll say, hey, attention,
the dirtiest
driver with the license plate number, and they read off the license plate number in a very serious voice, and they say, congrats, you have the dirtiest car in the lot. You want a free car wash.
Love it.
Always good, because I'm sure it gives the owner of the car a good scare every time. Two balls, 2 strikes on Aaron Hill. He'll fly out to second on that nifty play from Olin when he was charging in. Flied out in the 4th inning as well. That was out to center. Flied out in the 2nd, I should say. To right field earlier in the game. A member of that 2020 championship team with the Milwaukee Milkmen. Was such a great group. That 2020 season so unusual in the history of the American Association. There were only 6 teams, and there was no affiliated baseball that year, so there was just a ton of talent wherever you looked in that league. Guys just wanted to play, and it became an incredible season. Milwaukee wound up facing Sioux Falls in the finals that were expanded to a best-of-7 series that year. Payoff pitch. Still 3-2 on Hill. It's a loaded roster for Milwaukee, including Adam Brett Walker, who became the single-season home run champ in the American Association. And he still has a lot of admirers in that Milkmen clubhouse. His mantra, left turns only. Still got a lot of folks
He's having a
sporting
heck of
that.
a career in Japan, too.
He absolutely is, playing with the Yomiuri Giants in the Japanese Central League. Swing and a foul tip. That might have gotten a piece of Jeff Head behind home plate. Take one more look at this. Ooh, yeah, just ricocheted off the glove of Correa. And off of Head's midsection there. It looks to be okay. But yeah, all those Milkmen, his former teammates, they're keeping track of how Adam Brett Walker's doing in Japan.
Oh, it is fun to keep track of him, too.
840 OPS and 23 home runs for the most popular team in Japan. You know, they got 40,000 fans at the Tokyo Dome. Payoff pitch. High fly, left center field. On the run, Novak. On the run, Alexander, and he makes the basket catch. Tagging is Sanchez, trying for third, and the runners will both move up. But a heck of a play from Alexander all the same. He has been everywhere in center field.
Right there, doing just as good as a bunt. Getting both the guys over.
Sure. Loud bunt.
Much louder than a bunt.
I thought off the bat that might be Novak's ball, but the wind still blowing left to right.
I thought off the bat that was going to beat them both in the gap, and it just stopped. He hit that really well.
So Sanchez to third, Chester to second. And Jeremiah Burks at the plate. And now he might lay down a squeeze bunt.
What?
Runners were not going there.
That's a safety squeeze, I guess, because he squared super early.
Milkmen have broken out the safety squeeze this year. Small ball has been the key for them tonight. Infield is in for Fargo Moorhead. Takes strike two. Their first run was an RBI single from Gomez. Their second run, bunt single on a drag bunt from Torres. Took second on another bunt. Stole third. A throwing error allowed him to score. Then earlier in this inning, an infield hit from Chester allowed the third run to come across. Erling Merzo 2. Chopper to Dexter. The runners hold. Tags one to first base. Double play.
Oh, no.
Sanchez stayed put at third. It left Chester in no man's land. And Dexter keeps his wits about him and makes an unconventional 6-6-3 double play to end the top of the sixth. Sanchez frustrated, tossing his helmets. So the Milkmen lead stays at 3-0. They've been in control all night, but the RedHawks still within striking distance. It's the Wolff Cup Finals on AABaseball.tv. Another look at the play that ended that inning. Sam Dexter. Gotta like the stick-to-itiveness and the wherewithal, Michael, to make a play like that. But Hector Sanchez over at third base would probably want to have that play back. And at second, Chester was breaking for third. Sanchez staying put. Not a whole lot that Chester could do in that spot.
No, he kind of just got caught up in no man's land, but great awareness by Dexter to make the tag and then make the throw. It's just, I feel like if you're Chester there in that situation, once you realize that he hasn't gone, I know it's hard to say, don't go back, but you almost have to try and get caught in a rundown to not end the inning there.
Right, and allow Burks to take first base. There are a lot of folks just sort of confused there. Young comes back out for Milwaukee as the throw from Sanchez gets away. It's an odd feel to this game because the Milkmen have played really well in a lot of ways. Their small ball, the strategy from the manager has worked. Their batters have had a very good approach all night. And the pitching from Young has been excellent. But it's only added up to a 3-0 game because of a couple of base running mistakes from Milwaukee and a whole lot of great defense from Fargo.
Yes. Fortunately, Fargo is able to capitalize on mistakes and also throw in a couple web gems of themselves to keep them in this ball game. But yeah, like you said, other than the base running so far, Milwaukee has played an outstanding game from the pitching, defense, small ball, approach at the plate. They've been doing it all in this game. It seems like they should be way more in front.
The book is closed on Peyton Wigginton for Fargo Moorhead. 5 innings, gives up 3 runs, 2 earned on 8 hits, walking 2 and striking out 4. Grinded through this playoff start. Game 4 of the Miles Wolff Cup Finals in the American Association of Pro Baseball. If you're watching AAPB Baseball for the first time, we welcome you tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. These are unaffiliated teams. They don't have parent clubs in the big leagues, which means they don't have to worry about shipping guys up or down based on what the big boss, the big team says. They're trying to win titles for their city. And the title is on the line this week.
I honestly think Wigginton kind of did exactly what he needed to do. I know he left the game without the lead, but with a lineup like that, sometimes.
Well, now comes Anthony Barone, and he will take the ball from Young. This has been a heck of a performance from Christian Young. Gives up the leadoff walk to Christian Correa, and he will step aside. I believe it'll be Bartow, but we'll see who comes out for the Milkmen in just a moment. 3-0 Milwaukee. You can't ask for much more than what Christian Young gave his team tonight. Back in just a sec. This is the Miles Wolff Cup Finals. So Christian Correa aboard first base. Christian Young sees his night come to an end. And it is Frankie Bartow that Anthony Barone calls upon to potentially, we're not mind readers up here, but potentially to bridge the gap between Young and their lights-out closer, Rodrigo Benoit. And I know that some of the base running has been an issue for Milwaukee, but like you were saying, everything else in this game has gone just as Anthony Barone would have drawn it up pregame. Maybe you would like to have a little bit more of a cushion against a lineup like Fargo-Moorhead that is prone to scoring in bunches, but you get 5+ scoreless innings from Christian Young, still responsible for the man at first. And it's now a time for the bullpen to try and finish this off, trying to force a winner-take-all Game 5 for the American Association Championship tomorrow.
Yeah, he did everything that he needed to do tonight. He was outstanding, commanded the zone, tons of swings and misses on a team that fouls a ton of pitches off. There's really not much more you can ask for, and it appears, as people may have thought otherwise, including probably us, that he made the right decision on his starter tonight.
Yep, we were talking a lot about why he didn't decide to go with A.J. Schugel on short rest, and there's a lot of risk that you take if you throw a guy on short rest, but I guess we'll say we thought that potentially we would see him, considering it was a game with their backs against the wall, an elimination game. But Anthony Barone, trusting the stuff that Young had, he gives up 2 hits, both singles, walked 2 batters, struck out 7. And Barone told me before the game, I tried to sort of reach out and said, we have a lot of confidence in Christian, is what he said before the game. He's a strike thrower, and he's going to give us a good chance. This team plays well behind him, is what he said. That's what's happened tonight. Ball and no strikes on Maris. Top of the Red Hawk order due up here. All that being said, though, for Fargo-Moorhead, their mentality here is we're still very much in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Their defense really has kept them in it. You don't often say that in a baseball game, but it feels like the defense is the reason why they're still within striking distance. This is going to be a tricky play. Burks, Trowbridge. Burks makes the catch. Aaron Hill was in that area as well. Correa retreats to first base. Those are never easy. But they put it away for out number 1. That's an important out to get things going for Frankie Bartow. Drew Ward is 0 for 2 tonight. He steps in for the RedHawks. Struck out swinging in the first, grounded out too short in the 4th. Another first pitch outside. Infield double play depth for the Milkmen. What'd I tell you? The chirps are informed here. That got you, Michael.
That one got it. I've heard a lot, but I've never heard that one before.
There's a strike, and I don't think he's made any bad calls in this at-bat.
No,
for
he
the
has
record.
not. He is not. That's just a fan being a fan. He probably made his section laugh with that one. My uncle was a very good chirper at the umpires.
Really?
Even if they were good.
At your games?
Not in pro ball in college.
At college.
He had the stands rolling.
1-2. Just off the plate. Both of these teams ran an unprecedented, in recent memory, gauntlet to get to these American Association's Miles Wolff Cup finals. Foul tip from Warden. That's out number 2. First strikeout for Frankie Bartow. With the expanded playoffs, 4 teams in each division. Fargo-Moorhead beat Winnipeg in the first round. Won a thrilling 3-game series, best of 3 against Kansas City to get here. The Milkmen topped their arch rivals, the Chicago Dogs, in the first round of the East Division playoffs. And then swept Cleburne, won both games in the East Division Championship Series. Always tough to play Cleburne in any playoff series because of the travel. That's Cleburne Railroaders in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
Do you remember when Laredo was in the league?
Before my time, but yes.
We had
Laredo leaders.
we finished our first games of the season were there. And it was a 23-hour bus drive.
From Sioux
Then
City?
our
Or
last
from
Sioux City, our last
wow.
literally our last game of the season was in Laredo. We came back, played the first round of the playoffs, and then they made the championship, and
Yep.
we did as well. So we drove right back.
Pena smacks one to center field for a 2-out base hit. Second time tonight, the RedHawks have put a man on second base.
This could be one of the biggest at-bats of the game right here.
And Manny Boscan is yet to be retired tonight. Good piece of hitting for Pena. And this RedHawks
you can hear
crowd,
the
they are
crowd. I love
tuned in. 1,537 the announced attendance tonight. That's a little bit more than last night. And a visit quickly from Jose Rodriguez for Milwaukee. Bullpen is quiet right now, but maybe this is just to get that crowd to quiet down a little bit.
I would say just settle them down a little bit, and maybe I would say they're probably going to go over maybe how to attack him here, because they probably had a game plan with Young. And just want to make sure that they're on the same page, since he obviously has not been retired yet.
Boscan with a single in the second. He was caught stealing on a strike him out, throw him out double play. Drew a walk in the fourth. This is the kind of moment that you wait all season for. Wolff Cup Finals. Best of 5, RedHawks ahead, 2-1. Trying to win a championship on their home field tonight. They're going to need to come from behind to do it. Big strike one to Boscan. Really good opening pitch. Just 3 hits for Fargo Moorhead tonight, all singles, including the base hit from Leo Pena that made it first and second. Here in the 6th. 1 ball, 1 strike. One and two.
I think something off speed down there.
Fell off the table. It's a chilly night here in Fargo. Everybody's bundled up, hoodies, blankets. Some folks, they can't bear to sit, so they're out on the concourse standing up with their hands shoved into their pockets to keep them warm. A lot of anxious faces right now. This is playable, but will be tricky and shallow left. Trowbridge gives way to Bergson. He makes the catch. The wind died down there. Might have been counting on that to get shoved a little bit more. But Jeremiah Burks makes the play, and that ends the threat. Bartow comes on and gets the job done for the Milkmen. So it remains 3-0 Milwaukee as we go to the 7th. It's the Miles Wolff Cup Finals on AABaseball.tv.
Here comes the Bobcat grounds crew, keeping our field looking beautiful as always. You've got some tough projects. Bobcat has what you need to tackle just about anything. That's the brand our grounds crew knows and trusts. On all your Bobcat equipment options at your local Bobcat dealer.
Just around the corner, and Shooting Star Casino wants to set you up with the ultimate tailgate party giveaway every Sunday in August, 4 to 8:30 p.m. We'll have cash drawings for up to $3,000, plus a chance at a tailgate party
To the 7th inning we go. Fargo Moorhead will turn to one of their most trusted relievers in Joe Jones. He will face the top of the Milwaukee lineup. Torres, Trowbridge, and Gomez. With the Milkmen hanging on to a 3-0 lead as we go to the 7th. Jones, one of the more experienced members of this RedHawks bullpen, a mentor to some of the younger guys on this team. Coming on in a pretty important spot here. Game 4 of the Miles Wolff Cup Finals. RedHawks won Game 3 last night to take a 2-1 series lead. It's best of 5. They really had their best chance, potentially, of scoring in that last frame in the 6th with Boscan at the plate in first and second. Brian Torres had quite the night. He flied out to center in the first inning. Then in the third, he hit a leadoff triple and scuffed up his face as he was sliding headfirst into third. Had to be tended to for a moment, but stayed in the ball game. Later came in to score on a Gomez RBI single. That was the game's first run. Then in the 5th inning, he laid down a drag bunt that was beautifully played, got a single out of it, moved to second on another bunt, and then stole third and scored on a throwing error from Christian Correa behind the plate. Now he hits this one to the right side. It's off the glove of Peter Maris, and Torres advances. We'll see how they score it. That was a hot shot to Peter, difficult to backhand off of the dirt. Leadoff man aboard for Milwaukee. It is a hit for Torres, so he is 3 for 4 tonight.
See if they do the same thing this inning. And that's a
Could lay on a
guy.
bunt again, yeah.
That's a guy that was quiet yesterday, and their offense was quiet. When you're a top guy, batting champ of the league, gets things started, gets things going, can run on the bases, make things happen. The offense moves.
0 for 4 at the top of the lineup last night. Trowbridge shows bunt, snap throw to first. Not quite there. That throw might have beaten him, but Boscan was in front of the bag.
He was getting set up for the bunt there.
So that's pretty smart from Torres, knowing he has that little extra space to work with Boscan taking that position. Always risky a snap throw like that with a good base runner at first. Don't want that to get away. Ball and a strike. Leo Pena ready for the bunt. He was in on the grass there. Over at third base for the RedHawks. 3 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the visitors. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for the home side. And again, Jones misses to make it 2-1. Jones replaces Burlingmare, who threw most of that 6th inning. One of his inherited runners scored. His line, 1 inning, no runs allowed on 1 hit. Did not walk or strike out any batters. Had that double play where Dexter tagged out Chester to end the inning. The 2-1 pitch. This one's bunted on the first base line, and it's bunted well. Boscan's only play is to go to first. So the sacrifice scored 3-4, and the Milkmen have a man in scoring position. Second bunt that Trowbridge has laid down to help advance Torres, and as many times at bat. Or plate appearances, or whatever you want to call them. Now it's Gomez's turn. He's had a good night and a good couple of games in Fargo. Singled and scored a run in the 8th inning last night and has an RBI single this evening. Milkmen are playing small ball, but could use that big hit to get some separation. In the moment, though, they are well in the driver's seat as they look to get to the Game 5 that will get us all excited tomorrow night. Jones is 0-1. Chop to Maris. Navigates the hop, gets the out at first. Torres takes third base.
What do you think, putting him on here?
Put Barnum on.
I know he hasn't gotten a hit tonight, but he could strike at any time, and he's really good at the plate, so.
You made that signal with your hand right when he came up here.
I know there's another lefty coming up who has a hit, but
Well, we'll see how Jones approaches him.
he's going right after him.
Good opening pitch. Barnum had that base hit in the third inning. That's bookended by a couple of strikeouts.
One downside to this shift is that Pena isn't able to shift way up because of the guy on third there.
Pena's keeping tabs on Torres, and so it's 3 infielders on the right side. 2 of them are in short right field. And then Pena, he probably feels very lonely over there. There's nobody
A lot of ground to cover.
anywhere close to Leo Pena in a RedHawks uniform. He's just there to keep an eye on Torres. There's a strike 1 and 2. Torres bluffed at third base there.
The only downside to that is that sometimes it gets in the vision of the hitter, and it almost like startles a hitter and throws
Lefty
him
at
off.
the plate.
There's been times where I've heard hitters complain about guys dancing on second base and occasionally doing stuff at third. They're like, just let me hit. Stop dancing over there. I can't. You're messing up my vision.
Swing and a miss from Barnum, and how about that from Jones? The fist bump as he walks off the mound. He goes right at the slugger, and Torres left stranded aboard third base. The Milkmen still in control at the 7th inning stretch in Fargo. 3-0 Milwaukee in the Miles Wolff Cup Finals on AABaseball.tv.
All right, fans, here we go. 7th inning stretch time. Brought to you by Clean Fire and Stand Up. Let's stretch it out nice and loud. We'll take me out to the ball game. Music, please. Here we go. Take me out to the ball game. Take me out with the crowd. Let me hear ya. Big finish. Hey, thanks a lot to Fleet Farm, where you can get everything you need from the brands you trust in one easy stop. That's Fleet Farm.
The voice of the Fargo Moorhead RedHawks, Jack Michaels, tossing McCandy down from the press box. The 7th inning stretch tradition here in Fargo. Jack's picking some people out here. He makes sure everybody is included. In that 7th inning stretch, the people who are sitting behind home plate, they'll get up and they'll turn around. They'll look up to Jack. They know what's coming. Somebody's got a net down there as well. Jack's got his trademark net that he has up here. Longtime voice of this RedHawks team. Last couple of rolls of Smarties going out here. Greetings from the Scott Miller press box here at Newman Outdoor Field. This is what makes baseball in Fargo special. The 7th inning stretch special. Miles Wolff Cup Finals special. Milkmen trying to extend their season. Down by 1 game in this best-of-5 series. I think he's trying to negotiate, Jack, a candy bar split.
Might knock somebody out with that thing.
He's
It's
got
huge.
a big chocolate bar with purple wrapping that he tossed down, and he made a gesture like, hey, I want you two to split it. Negotiating from the press box. You know, Jack has earned the nickname Snack Michaels.
I
Can't
would
imagine why.
that was a full roll. Was it Smarties or?
Big Smarties, yeah.
Oh,
those
I
were the
would've
ones that
taken
caught
some of
my eye,
those.
too. Those are the ones that I would have liked, yeah. Well, Anthony Barone has looked pretty smart in how he's managed this game. It's a seamless transition. Bunted in the air by Oland, and Bartow with a nice grab on the run. Heads over to his dugout to get a high five from his pitching coach. Gets out number 1.
Almost tripped there on the slope of the mound.
Yeah,
Got his feet nicely. Otherwise, it would have been a base hit.
just wanted to keep that momentum going. And a tough one for Oland, who's had a great night in the field tonight. Wow, Jack just threw something to the sweet to our
Swedish
left.
fish.
That's a big bag of Swedish fish.
He still got it.
So it was that Christian Ibarra that he just threw
Yeah.
that Swedish fish to, former Red Hawk. He was sitting in the suite to our left tonight, and now has some Swedish fish to share with his folks. You know, in Sweden, they're just called fish. I don't know if
Just
that.
call them the
that-
redfish.
I don't think that's actually true. Bottom 7. It feels to me up in the booth like this game still has one more big moment left in it. Whether that's the Milkmen just putting the dagger as Dexter lays this one to left field for a base hit, or whether it's Fargo Moorhead getting on the board tonight. But right now, this has
Good
a
start
very,
to do it.
it's a very similar feel to that game in Chicago.
Yeah.
When the Milkmen needed a W, and they sent out the same first 2 guys that we've seen tonight, Young and then Bartow. It was a 3-0 game. Chicago got to run them a 9th off of Benoit, but
But that's the thing is like they still have 3 at-bats left. So the goal isn't exactly to get all 3 at once, and a lot of people have to be okay with that. Just getting on the board is huge this inning for them.
and that length from Young was so important. I know 5 innings doesn't jump off the page. Alexander lets this one go to center field, and he's frustrated that he got underneath that. Torres makes the catch. Alexander never dropped his bat. He was running up the first baseline, jumping in the air, and wincing, cringing, saying, man, if only I had gotten that a little bit cleaner. Instead, it's out number 2. Alexander is 0 for 3 tonight. But those 5 innings are huge for Young, because now with Bartow pitching efficiently, maybe you call on Benoit for a 6-out save in the postseason, game on the line.
I was going to mention that earlier. I don't think that's out of the question or unreasonable at all.
Well, I don't think it would have been unreasonable if either Young or Bartow had run into trouble, as Novak lifts this one to left center field, a base hit, cut off out there, but Dexter will go first to third. So now it's men at the corners, 2 away, and this is a big, big spot for Christian Correa. And I think they might be sending in, if they're calling him back to the dugout, they're bringing Ben Lavorsi, the rookie catcher, in to hit for Correa here. So they're bringing in one catcher for the other. A big spot for Ben Lavorsi here, pinch hitting.
Oh, he's faced 4 batters this inning. I'm pretty sure he's at 5 pitches.
It's been quick. We
So
haven't had a whole lot of time
we
to
haven't.
talk.
Because 3 guys have swung at the first pitch.
This
And
next
I'm
pitch
pretty
will be
sure
his
Dexter-
20th of his appearance in total, including the 6th out. So here comes Ben Lavorsi. This is his 7th playoff AB. 1 for 6 up to this point. And he gives this a ride to center. Torres has a beat on it, moving back, still back, and puts it away for the final out of the inning. RedHawks were in swing mode that whole frame. Lavorsi saw a pitch that he could drive, but it's deep out to left and center here in Fargo. And Brian Torres is pretty darn good at tracking baseballs down. Milwaukee stays in front, 3-0. We've played 7 in the Miles Wolff Cup Finals on AABaseball.tv.
excel how precisely controlled cold temperatures can increase energy, reduce pain and inflammation, quicken muscle recovery, and improve circulation. I use cryotherapy myself and I recommend it to all athletes I train.
Cryotherapy has been really helpful in reducing my muscle pain.
Let our certified technicians help guide you through a natural approach to better health and wellness. Glacial Peak Cryotherapy. Whether your office is a corner of your bedroom, out on the patio, or in the middle of your living room with the kids, make sure you have the right tools to securely connect, communicate, and collaborate with your team. ProConnect, your team collaboration tool. From Consolidated Communications.
So the RedHawks have made some defensive changes, as you can see. Drew Ward has come off the DH spot and is playing first. So the RedHawks have lost their DH. Lavorsi came on to hit for Correa, but they in that big spot. But they want Manny Boscan behind home plate. So Boscan, who was at first, is now doing the catching for Fargo-Moorhead. This is an interesting move by Chris Coast and his right-hand man, Anthony Renz, to move Drew Ward from the DH spot to first base. As Lavorsi is done for the game, you would think. Yeah, he came on for the pinch hit, flied out to center. So right now in the Milkmen lineup, Joe Jones, the pitcher, is in the 9 spot. Or in the RedHawks lineup, I should say. Kendra leads things off for the Milkmen. There's a strike. Now top of the lineup, due up for Fargo-Moorhead in the 8th. So if you get to that 9 spot, you can figure it out.
Do we have a Kirk Gibson moment and Silviano straps it up?
What is crossing my mind. Swing and a miss from Kencher. And it's 0-2 because if you look at the roster, John Silviano is still technically active. Now he's got a leg injury that was deemed series and season ending. But if you were going to pinch hit, I mean, it's either him or a pitcher in that 9 spot now. Because Lavorsi was the only player on the bench. Called strike 3 and Kencher's down looking. Jones back out for his second inning of work. Gets his second strikeout in quick order.
I would not put it past Silviano to have said something to Coast and say, dude, if it comes back up, I want it.
And I don't know.
He was sitting next to Coast the entire night last night. He's not sitting there, so I have no idea. Are we just out in left field right now, or?
I don't know. And or maybe it's, maybe there's a pitcher that they can come in and get it done, but this is a very interesting move. When they made that move, I assumed Lavorsi's going to catch.
Yeah.
But then Boscan came in, and I don't know if maybe Lavorsi felt something when he was on the swing for the fly ball or while he was running. I don't know if maybe that's something that happened, but we didn't see anything to indicate that. Well, we'll see. Might not come up at all tonight. Hector Sanchez, he's doing the catching for Milwaukee. We know that. Anthony Barone wants no one else behind the plate right now but the World Series champ. This has been a good performance from Jones. The only base runner in his 5 hitters that he's faced was that infield hit from Torres. Granted, that was a hard hit ball off the glove of Maris at second. Big swing from Sanchez. He's had a tough night at the plate tonight. He's 1 for 3, but his first at-bat, he hits that ground ball to Dexter, who makes that great diving stop. Second at-bat, he hits the fly ball to right field, where Olin robs him of a 2-run double. And then in his third at-bat, he hits a double to left, but it bounces over the wall, which robbed him of an RBI. So he just has not had anything go his way tonight. He's had a great night at the plate, he's got very little to show for it, given how well he's approached this. And he's got a little bit of that fire right now in his mannerisms and his body language. It just hasn't gone his way tonight. He's had a great approach to the plate. Full count.
That was right in my hand. I'm catching that one.
Yeah, no screen. That's coming right to the window. Infield is tilted to the right side against Sanchez. Pena's basically playing short. And Dexter is up the middle at shortstop, but still on the shortstop side of second. It's an infield that would be legal next year in Major League Baseball, put it that way. But it's shifted. Which is why it's odd that I think people say they're going to ban the shift, because this is a shifted infield that we're looking at.
Yeah.
And it would be perfectly legal.
I know people can say what they want about the whole shift situation, but, you know, your goal is to get them out. And if you think that you shifting that far over could get them out, there's a lot of times it's not going to work in your favor, so I don't know.
Sanchez gives this a ride to left center. Alexander calls off Novak, makes the play. And it'll bring up Carl Chester for the Milkmen. Just not quite Sanchez's night. He's been putting in work. But it's been robbed by some great hit defense. Milkmen got an RBI single from Gomez in the third to score Torres. In the fifth inning, they manufactured a run. Torres bunted, moved to second on a bunt, stole third, and came in on a throwing error. In the sixth inning, they got a single from Kenger, an automatic double from Hector Sanchez. That chased RedHawks starter Peyton Wigginton from the game. 5 innings, 3 runs, 2 earned. Because one of those bequeathed runners came in on an infield hit from this guy, Carl Chester. Dexter is at shortstop. 1, 2, 3 go the Milkmen in the 8th. Top of the order due up for Fargo-Moorhead in the bottom of the 8th inning, down by 3 in Game 4 of the Miles Wolff Cup Finals on AABaseball.tv.
We are celebrating one birthday here at Newman Outdoor Field. Happy birthday to Finn Donegan. Happy birthday, Finn. Hope you're having a great time out there tonight. I know you're down in the Sandy's Donut Zone. Hope you had a great night. Anybody else out there? Happy birthday to you too. And check out the video board. Here's tonight's Buffalo Wild Wings play of the game. How about this? Little defense from the RedHawks back in the 3rd inning. This is Alec Olin, maybe the catch of the season right here with 2 runners in scoring position. Outstanding diving catch and right. That was a rally killer right there. Alec Olin, the Buffalo Wild Wings play of the game. Make sure to visit any of the Buffalo Wild Wings 3 area locations. Buffalo Wild Wings, Wings Beer Sports.
It's more Frankie Bartow for the Milwaukee Milkmen as we go to the bottom of the 8th. He's done a great job looking to bridge the gap between Young and the closer, Benoit. It's all gone according to plan for Anthony Barone and the Milwaukee Milkmen. Their goal, to win this game and force a winner-take-all Game 5, same time tomorrow from Newman Outdoor Field. Carter Wadil and Michael Lang with you from the press box here in Fargo. So glad you're with us. Whether you're on Facebook, you're on Twitch, you're on Twitter, you're on YouTube, you're on AABaseball.tv, or you're on BaseballAmerica.com. We're so proud to be partnered with them all season. We're really happy to have you with us tonight. This has been a good game. We've seen some great defense, some great pitching, some manufactured runs from the Milwaukee Milkmen, and we could have one last push from Fargo-Moorhead. An interesting maneuver by Chris Coast and Anthony Renz in the 7th. They brought in a pinch hitter for Christian Correa, Ben Lavorsi, who is one of 2 players that are technically available on their bench, but in actuality was the only healthy player on their bench. He came on, he put some good wood on it, but flied out to center field to end the inning. We thought he'd get behind the plate, but instead, Boscan went behind the plate, and Drew Ward, the designated hitter, went out and played first base. So they lost to DH, and the pitcher spot is in the 9-hole. John Silviano, who has what we understand to be a season-ending injury, is still technically active for Fargo-Moorhead. But that's a long way from now. That's the 9 spot. We got the leadoff hitter at the plate here in Peter Maris. Bartow's been efficient. He's thrown 22 pitches. Since entering the game in the 6th, has surrendered 3 hits. They're all singles. Struck out Drew Ward for his only punch out tonight. Maris to right field. The wind has really died down. Makes it an easier play for Chester out there. When we started this game tonight, there was a pretty stiff breeze blowing left to right, and now there's pretty much nothing to speak of. Maybe if that were in the first inning, that ball would have gotten closer to the wall.
I know. Because I thought he hit that pretty well. He just got under it a little bit. A little bit of wind, it might have carried a little further. But they're probably all happy in this stadium that the wind has died down with the temperature drop.
Yes, yeah, especially the fans on the first base side. The Milkmen fans, they're happy to see it. 1,537, the announced crowd tonight. Ward grounds one to second base. Tricky play for Gomez, kind of smothered it on a weird hop. Did a good job to field that cleanly. 2 quick outs here in the 8th inning. And so it's Leo Pena's turn. He had a hard hit single in the 6th, 1-4-3 tonight. Like he had the bat on his shoulder for that first pitch. We saw that last night when he came up with the potential for a 3-pitch inning and almost walked out of the batter's box on the first pitch. Didn't want any part of it. I feel like when I was playing MLB The Show as a kid, there were a lot of 3-pitch innings.
I'm all for it.
Me and my buddies were free swingers. 1-1. 1-2. If there is a Game 5 tomorrow, we'll have it for you right here. Wherever you're watching, we'll be there tomorrow as well. And it will start at the same time, 6:30. At Central Time. So 7:30 for those of you in the East. Or you never know, we got some 5:30 Mountain viewers or some 4:30 Pacific viewers. If you're in the Mountain time zone, comment on Facebook. 2-2. Chopper to Burks. Charging in fields. 1-2-3 go the RedHawks. How about those 3 innings from Bartow? Gives up 3 hits, all of them singles, worked out of a first and third jam in the 7th. Anthony Barone could not ask for more from his pitching tonight thus far. We've played 8 here at Newman Outdoor Field. The Milkmen poised to force a Game 5. It's 3-0. This is the Miles Wolff Cup Finals on AABaseball.tv.
Please find a sober ride home. It's not worth the risk. Buzz driving is drunk driving. Call a friend. Call a cab. Just find a sober ride. Prevent a tragedy. Let's get everyone home safe. 0 fatalities. 0 excuses. Giddy up.
To the 9th inning we go at Newman Outdoor Field. New arm on the mound for Fargo Moorhead is Trevor Sims. Super fan, he never gets replaced. This guy never needs a breather, never needs a day off. And when Van Halen's on the PA, he'll never slow down. Here's Sims, second appearance of the playoffs for him. Milwaukee 3, Fargo Moorhead nothing as we go to the ninth. Milkmen will have 8, 9, and 1 due up. That's Hill, Burks, and Brian Torres. Ben Lavorsi out catching Sims' warm-up pitches, but he is done for the game, officially speaking. Milkmen have been in control all night. Christian Young, 5 shutout innings on 2 hits. Frankie Bartow with 3 scoreless innings. Gives up just 3 runs and a balanced performance from this Milkmen lineup. Aaron Hill, who's going to lead off this inning, is the only one that hasn't gotten a hit. Torres has really been the headliner with the single, the triple, the 2 runs scored, and that stolen base, just sort of scoring a run almost all by himself with help from that bunt from Trowbridge, 1 of 2 tonight. It's been a balanced effort. They haven't had that big inning necessarily. They've had opportunities. But with the pitching that they have had tonight, manufacturing a few runs is A-OK for this Milkmen lineup. Rodrigo Benoit is warming up in the Milwaukee bullpen as expected. The 9th inning presumably will be his, and I would think that, Michael, you know, it's a save situation now. It's a 3-0 game, but even if the Milkmen score 10 runs in this inning, you're probably going to see Benoit come out and get the last 3 outs.
That's your guy. You need to send him out there to secure this game and head on to a winner-take-all Game 5.
No tomorrow for the Milkmen right now. They're trying to make that happen. Here's Aaron Hill. Hill's 0 for 3. He's flied out 3 times. It was a good running play from Olin and right. I guess that could have been scored a line out on that play in the 2nd inning. Then 2 fly balls to center. Big swing there.
These are the types of innings that sometimes as a closer you get hot and you get annoyed when your team scores 2 to take away the save opportunity, but I don't think he'd be disappointed if they did that here.
Well, I was talking to Rodrigo Benoit before the game, and he brought up that exact feeling. He says that he really feels, you know, he said that he feels like the big spots, he rises to the occasion, and he said that it just doesn't feel quite the same when he comes in and they've got a big cushion.
It's harder. It's a lot harder on
amped.
guys because you don't have that, I got to make this pitch. It's like you almost feel like you have a little leeway to it, so you end up leaving pitches down the middle sometimes because you're not as sharp because you can afford to give up a couple.
You were teammates with some great relievers in your time. I mean, Matt Poborico is the first one that comes to mind for me. Matt's certainly a guy who knows how to get amped.
We
for a
did
game.
it to him all the time.
Your offense was too good. That's what you're telling me. What a terrible problem.
Well, we were a big 8th inning team. We did it to him so much. I felt so bad, but at the same time, I mean, yeah, score some runs. We did do it to him a lot. I felt bad, but I know I played with Chris Bodishbaugh for a long time. I don't know if you know the name, but he was a long-time AA guy and with Sioux City for quite some time. I think he pitched for Winnipeg and Gary as well. We had a lot of good closers in my day.
You know, Aaron Hill would love to be able to get a hit here. You know, you don't want to be the only guy to not get a base hit in a game like this.
The only upside to being the only guy in games where you don't get a hit is when you win. It's the only upside. It's like, come on, everyone get one but me, but as long as you win, it's okay.
He's looking to get it going in the playoffs. Now he's 3 for 28 in the postseason, and that's just not good luck for him. Right to Maris, one away.
That is the definition of baseball at its finest. You do everything right, smash a ball right on the screws, guy doesn't even move, makes a play, and you're out.
So it's Jeremiah Burks' turn. Second time that we've seen a hard line drive in that part of the field tonight. How about liner from Pena that went to Kenjer? There's a ground ball to Maris. Nice backhanded stop to his feet quickly to get the out. Made it look easy, and it was not easy. Knowing he had to get that off quickly, and in the end, he had plenty of time. So the lineup card turns over, and Brian Torres steps up for the 5th time tonight. If you're looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th, it will be Boscan, Oland, and Dexter due up for Fargo-Moorhead. After that, Alexander, Novak, and the pitcher's spot after they lost their DH.
Even if they don't make it to that spot, I really want to know what the plan would have been.
Yeah, what the plan if they do get there. You never know. I don't want to speculate too much, but all I'll say is that it would be cool to watch John Silviano hit in this game. But again, by every piece of information that we have, both on record and off, he's done, and he's not going to play. But you never know.
It's when a pitcher's time to shine. They love it.
Yeah, and that's the other option, is maybe there's, someone who's going to try and go two ways.
Could have had a guy that hit in college.
Every team, it feels like, has one guy.
They have to.
like that.
I've been on a team where we ran out of guys, and we had a pitcher that hit in college who became our everyday first baseman because he was hitting like 350. It was unbelievable.
Well, I remember with the Canaries, they had a game where they had a rash of injuries all at once, and they had a pitcher DH. Same thing. He had gone both ways in college. Then the game went 18 innings. That was the longest game by innings in the history of the league.
It is funny though when the pitchers go out there and play the field, and they're like, I don't know how you guys do this 9 innings every single night. I'll stick with my once every 5 days.
Brian Torres is that kind of guy who works hard in the field and at the plate and on the base paths every night. 2-2. Grounded to Maris. Ooh, that was a really tough hop. Good job to field it from a knee and finish things off in the 9th. So we'll see if the RedHawks have a rally in their bones. They're down by 3. The Milkmen looking to force a winner-take-all Game 5 tonight. Bottom of the 9th after this. It's the Miles Wolff Cup Finals on AABaseball.tv.
Let's go, RedHawks fans. We need some runs. Let's go.
Loving the rally cap in that shot. The inside out, just trying to will his team to a W. There he is. Rocking the RedHawks hoodie and the rally cap. It's a chilly night in Fargo. Maybe enough for a down coat, as we can see on the left side of the screen there. RedHawks offense has been somewhat cold tonight, but only because there's been straight fire on the mound from Milwaukee. Christian Young, 5 scoreless. Frankie Bartow, 3 scoreless. And now, in this 49-degree night, they turn to Rodrigo Benoit. Their closer, their man in these spots, making his 3rd appearance of the playoffs. The numbers are a little bit misleading. He has given up a couple of runs in the playoffs, but he's gotten the job done. Got the save that allowed them to move on in the series against Chicago, now being called upon here for his 4th appearance of the playoffs. And this is a guy who has a ton of big game experience in his career. You just have to know where to look. He played last season in Colombia for a winter ball team. He had had a couple of years off of baseball because of the pandemic. He had been released by the Milwaukee Brewers organization, had trouble finding a spot, and caught on with the Winter League team in Colombia. It was only the 3rd year that that league had operated. Well, his team went and won the league, and then they went and played in the Caribbean Series against the winners from all of the other nations in that part of the world. An amazing event that year was being held in Benoit's home country of the Dominican Republic. He tried to play in the Dominican Winter League, the best winter league out there. They couldn't find a spot for him. He couldn't find a team. And all he did was get the last out in the grand finale of the Caribbean Series against the Dominican.
That's awesome.
To win it for the Colombian team in a absolutely massive upset. So this guy, this is a long way of saying, is not going to be phased by the moment.
Definitely not. That is awesome. I love hearing stuff like that.
One of the coolest things to happen in baseball in the last year. It was a true underdog story, and something, not many Americans keep tabs on winter ball, but it was a big, big deal.
That is a huge deal because they're always heavily favored.
Yep,
the DR.
It was a good team, the Gigantes, who won the league that season. And now Rodrigo Benoit trying to win a game for the Milkmen to set up what would be a winner-take-all Game 5 tomorrow with the Miles Wolff Cup on the line. Manuel Boscan, Alec Oland, and Sam Dexter do up. That's 4, 5, and 6 on Chris Coast's lineup card for the RedHawks. Boscan's job is simple. Just get on base. Try to get the tying run to the plates. Right on time with that one, but back to the screen. Boscan's had a good night tonight. He's singled, one of only 5 RedHawk hits, and all 5 of their hits tonight have been singles. He walked in the 4th, one of 2 walks that this team has drawn. Last time up, he popped out. Hit well to left, tailing toward the corner. It's a foul ball. Almost had home run distance. Wound up rattling around by the bleachers over there. Ball and 2 strikes on Manuel Boscan. The former Milwaukee Milkman himself. Trying to keep the RedHawks in the running tonight. 2-2. Christian Young is in line for the win for Milwaukee after his 5 shutout. Peyton Wigginton grinded through 5 innings for the RedHawks, gave up 3 runs, 2 earned. Really kind of a bend but don't break sort of night for him, but he is at the moment on the hook for the loss.
That's the key, past 2 nights, and what we've talked about, starting pitching.
And was 2-2. Try it again.
And he's right on it. He's taking some really good cuts here.
Crowd of 1,537. I don't think any of them have left, despite the temperature dropping below 50. To the left side, Trowbridge calls off Burks and backpedals into fair territory to make the catch. Out number 1. Alec Olenstern.
Yeah, you can't leave a game like this because you don't want to be the car driving home missing out on the 4-run bottom of the 9 for the championship.
That's the thing, with these playoff crowds, and I don't mean to belittle this because, promotions are great and it's great to have tons of people at the ballpark. They're not here for a fireworks night. They're not here for a bobblehead. They're here to watch their RedHawks try and win a championship.
Well, I was going to mention, as far as, and that's the thing about, I know sometimes the numbers are maybe a little higher during the season, and what I've heard is it's not on the schedule.
Right.
So it doesn't come out beforehand, so they see the schedule, the 100-game season, they can plan accordingly, and it's almost like the people that aren't regulars don't necessarily realize or see or know when those playoff games are, and that's why sometimes it's a little lower despite promoting it.
Benoit's 0-1.
But the people that are here are the people you want here.
And by the way, as a coda to that story about him showing it to the Dominican team, Rodrigo told me today he does have a deal in place to play for a Dominican team this winter.
I was going to say, they better after that one.
They saw him pitch and they said, yeah, we want this guy.
That's their mistake. But that's what you do. You got to show them. You got to show them what mistake they made. I love it.
The team with the most championships in the Dominican Winter League. He'll be suiting up for them.
Pretty sure Puerto Rico played in the Dominican League as well.
Oh yes.
He was well
Puerto
liked.
Rico is a legend in the Dominican.
He had tremendous hair in that league.
Yes, he let it really hang out. With Estrellas, I believe, was his team. A team that broke a 50-year title drought just a few years ago, which for a league with 6 teams, pretty long drought.
Yeah, I'd
pretty
say.
big to break it. Good look at Luke Lind, who had a great night last night, getting the save for the RedHawks. On the top step of that dugout. 1-2. Olin stays alive.
Pinch runner.
Maybe. And maybe Luke Lind is the guy. With the loss of a DH, maybe he's the one who thinks he can go and swing the lumber potentially.
He's getting his timing down.
I think that's what he's doing. We're watching him down in the dugout. I think that's exactly what he's doing, Michael. I think he's timing the pitches. So maybe that's our answer.
Is he lefty? The way he's timing right now looks...
No, he's listed as a right-handed hitter. Swing and a miss from Olin. Benoit's saying we don't need to worry about the 9 spot, guys. Gets a pop fly and a strikeout, 1 out away from forcing a winner-take-all Game 5.
Shortstop, number 2, Sam Dexter.
Sam Dexter trying to extend the game. Tell you what, if you want to have somebody come up who's trying to extend things, trying not to be the last out of the game, you could do worse than Sam Dexter.
I couldn't agree more.
Hawkeye back behind home plate as he often is during these 9th inning rallies. Trying to spook Benoit.
Get out!
Milkmen a strike away.
Stay low! Let's go, Dexter!
Benoit has been electric here in the ninth. He delivers the 0-2. Way upstairs. One-two pitch. Dexter spits on that off speed at 80 miles an hour. Evan Alexander is on deck. Single runs in the third, fifth, and sixth innings have gotten the Milkmen to this point, but really it's been all about the pitching. Young 5 scoreless, Bartow 3 scoreless. Benoit's 2-2. We'll do it again.
Let's go, Big Two.
I love that guy.
Superfan's got the rally headband too, as you can see it right at the very bottom of your screen there. He's wearing it like a chin strap. Here's the 2-2 offering. Got him swinging! And Milwaukee forces a Game 5 tomorrow night. An outstanding pitching performance from Young, Bartow, and Benoit, a combined shutout. And the offense, a little bit of small ball, a whole lot of Brian Torres hustle, gets it done. The Milkmen say, not yet. And Michael, we are going to be here tomorrow night for a 6:30 first pitch with everything on the line. Milwaukee and Fargo-Moorhead. How does that sound?
It's only fitting that it would come down to the very last possible game of the year, and why not? Why not?
This was, you know, we came in today, and I'll be honest, I'll cop to it. We were questioning Anthony Barone's decision-making, the manager for the Milkmen. And boy, do we look foolish.
They
'Cause
put
he
up a goose egg on one of the hottest
he
best
put-
offenses in the league.
Pushed all the right buttons today. Pushed all the right buttons, from making the choice to bring Young in and now having A.J. Schugel on full rest for tomorrow. Sticking with Bartow for the 8th, where he comes out and throws a 1-2-3 inning. So now Benoit, that was a quick 9th. He threw, 17 pitches? He can come back out and throw 6 outs tomorrow.
Yeah,
Their
absolutely.
elite closer. And with the small ball during the game to manufacture the runs that he needed, this was a really great managerial performance in addition to the pitching and the defense that we saw tonight.
I agree. They did everything that they needed to do tonight, and they executed it all well. The defense was tremendous for the RedHawks, which kept them in this game. But other than that, they did everything else that they needed to do to win that ball game. And again, we talked about it yesterday. The pitching, the starting pitching, is what's going to decide the game. And Milwaukee was outstanding tonight. And then further than the starting pitching, they just did it all. It was great. Great to watch.
My heart rate is already increasing thinking about a Game 5. Let's look ahead now. We've said so often all year, if there's a Game 5. Now we can say when there is a Game 5 tomorrow. And I'm salivating at this pitching matchup. A.J. Schugel, former major leaguer, who has been unstoppable in the playoffs. 1 run allowed in 18 innings of work, hasn't walked a batter at all. He hasn't walked a batter in a month and a half, A.J. Schugel, taking on definitely one of the 2 best pitchers in the history of the American Association, and maybe the best ever in Kevin McGovern for Fargo-Moorhead.
You literally could not ask for a better Game 5, and everybody should be excited to watch it. Everybody should be here to watch it. Or if you can't be here, tune in to watch it wherever you can, because it's going to be a great show.
What is the mindset for each of these teams, do you think, heading into Game 5? For Milwaukee, you're excited. You've got some momentum with this win. For the RedHawks, it's your last chance. Who do you think has more pressure on them going into this last game? I mean, there's tons of pressure everywhere.
I hate to even say it, but I feel like the RedHawks do, because after you win Game 3, you're really looking to clinch that right away in Game 4 and not even have a Game 5. When you lose Game 4, the momentum kind of shifts the other way, because now it's a winner-take-all, and it goes to the team that just won the last game, which is the Milkmen. Not to mention throwing out a guy that's given up 1 run in 18 innings. Not to downplay what McGovern can do, because he's amazing on the mound, but I'd almost have to side with Milwaukee with the momentum right now and how they played that game. But again, with the RedHawks lineup, the way they swing the bat, the way they don't strike out, and the way he doesn't walk people, he's going to be coming after him with strikes.
Yep.
And they're a good
Good
strike ball hitting team. So you just don't know.
You don't know. You can't predict it. That's what we love about baseball, Michael. And we
That's
hope
why
that
we watch.
We hope that you are with us tomorrow night. This is going to be a game that lives in American Association history. And whatever type of baseball fan you are, maybe you don't watch the AAPB all that much, a win or go home baseball game is always compelling, but especially when we have the quality of play that we're going to see on this field tomorrow. 6:30 p.m. Central Time. A.J. Schugel versus Kevin McGovern. No tomorrow. All hands on deck. Everything on the line. The winner will walk away with the Miles Wolff Cup. Your final thoughts, Michael, as we look ahead to that game tomorrow.
I'm hoping for a one-run ball game. You never want to see a blowout in a winner-take-all game, Game 5.
We've seen it before.
I really want to see a well-played ball game from all aspects of the field. I think everybody's going to come out. They're going to be loose. They're going to have some fun. I'm really excited to be here to watch it and call it with you, and I've had a blast so far, and I can't wait to end the season with you, man.
Well, I can't wait either. I'm so excited to bring that to you. So once again, that's a 6:30 p.m. first pitch tomorrow. I want to say a huge thank you to everybody involved in this broadcast. Chad Ekron is the producer with the Fargo-Moorhead RedHawks tonight. He has done an outstanding job all season long. Thanks so much to Jake Kranz, who has been monitoring our feeds tonight and done a great job with that all season. It's a complex web that we've got all of these different places to watch our games, and that's because of the hard work that Jake has done to make sure that this is there. Thanks to Tyler Webb for all of his help in the digital media side for the American Association and helping us out, especially with our interviews today. Thanks to Josh Buckholz, Joshua Schaub, the Deputy Commissioner of the Association, who are on hand for this series. And thank you to Michael Lang for joining me in the booth.
Yeah, pleasure.
We'll give you the totals on our way out the door here. Fargo-Moorhead drops this one to Milwaukee. The Milkmen force a Game 5. 3 runs, 10 hits, no errors for the Milkmen. No runs, 5 hits, 1 error for the RedHawks. The winning pitcher is Christian Young, who threw the 5 scoreless innings. Peyton Wigginton gets the loss for the RedHawks, and Rodrigo Benoit earns the save, throwing a 1-2-3 ninth inning for Milwaukee. Announced attendance 1,537. Time of the game 3 hours and 11 minutes here in Fargo tonight. 6:30 p.m. Central Time. We'll have a Game 5 for you tomorrow. Once again, the final score: Milwaukee 3, Fargo-Moorhead nothing. I'm Carter Woodhill for the American Association, where we